Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
Shout out to Twin Peaks.
I don't know. This is a pretty damn good cup of coffee I got here. What about you, brother? You got the same thing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother.
Well, listen, welcome everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that one for Sunday. I like playing that clip for Sunday, Sunday morning coffee. Look, this was morning coffee with Aries. And I realized I better change this to Sunday coffee with Aries because me trying to get on a little bit earlier is tough. I try to make it 1 o'clock. So we're a little bit late today. But, you know, it's Sunday. It's kind of it's a day of rest for a lot of us anyway. And look, for me, it's still early enough. I drink a lot of this stuff. It'll end probably by the end of the show. I'll be done with coffee for the day, brother.
I'm never done with coffee, man. I know. I'm going to be drinking this in my sleep. Oh.
Welcome, everybody who's in here. It's Sunday Coffee with Aries. Look, because I have to do this show. Because really, this is the market value chart show. Because I don't want to necessarily dive into a whole lot of it during Live and Raw, which is every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, because that's a short show. I only do Live and Raw for about 90 minutes. You know, it ends at 9:30. It's a hard stop on Mondays. And I want to go over all the coffee spilling predictions, thoughts, possibilities for not only May 4th week, the week before May 4th, the week after May 4th. And I've got to keep this countdown going on. I haven't even hit any figures with head sculpts, baby. And we'll see about tomorrow, what I'm going to unveil on everybody tomorrow. But I love setting the table for that by bringing up a lot of data for what's going on in the secondary market, in the market in general, here on the Market Value Chart Show, a.k.a. Sunday Coffee with Aries. But, dude, how are you feeling? How's it going with you, man?
Dude, it's going great, man. It's going great, man. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week, but it's been a great week. So again, you know, thanks for having me on, of course, before we get into it. But yeah, it's been great, man. It's been a good week, man. Who's the weird guy with the red hat? Says Fabio. I don't know. Who's Fabio?
Fabio's in the house with the yo. And you have to wonder, is Fabio going to be one of the special guests along with Easy Company Collectibles? Because I got confirmation from the Easy Man that he will be on. We're going to do the Aries Tarrington show at 6 p.m. Eastern this coming Wednesday. We did it a couple of weeks ago with these guys on, and we're going to do it again. I love doing that every other week or every couple of weeks on the Aries Tarrington show. It's usually a one-on-one. But we're going to have Fabio in the house. Maybe he'll have the cigar lit. Maybe he'll give us an update as to how the hell he's feeling when the wizard seems to want to get on that whole Al Capone, that whole gangster thing with Fabio. I have a funny feeling the Hot Toys wizard wants to light the cigar, Anthony. I wonder if it's going to happen.
It may, man. That wizard, man, he's been everywhere.
On the tear and on the loose. And it's interesting because the Hot Toys wizard really doesn't get into release dates, but he's trying to. He's been trying to get to the warehouses. You saw him take on the likeness of Patrick and, you know, being outside of the warehouse there from last week, trying to find out where is Ahsoka. Anthony and I are going to get into the whole Ahsoka thing coming up here a little bit later in the show when we go over the market stuff. Bob's Figures goes LOL, and I say yes. But look, let's say hi to everyone else in here to the best of my ability. We got Lane. Lane is in the house. I always love when we get Lane on the show. Lane always has some great insight. Lane will be back on the Six Scale Cantina here soon. Good to have Lane in the house. And we got Michael Singing Strew in here. What's up, Aries and Anthony? Come on. Bugman in the house. Good to have you in here. Diablo Fett. Good afternoon to you. Hello. Love the old school Marlins hat. Yeah. One day I'll have to show my my hat collection, which will be really interesting. I got to give you all my Hot Toy collection first. DT Artman in here. Good. Come on. Hat Drifters in here. Good afternoon to you as well. Bob Dylan in the house. Sunday fun day. I'm buying a round of spotchka. Well, listen, you're ahead of me, baby. We're always serving that up. But you can see Anthony and I. We're on the coffee. Maybe, Anthony, I should put a little spotchka in here. I don't know. That might be a little too early.
Maybe. It is Sunday, man. It's time to relax, talk figures, and drink and enjoy. Right?
Exactly. Had Drifter says, I say yes. Chewy's Bandolier is in here. Come on. KJ Smith in the house. Spice Runner. What's up, Aries and Anthony? Happy Sunday. And happy Sunday to you as well. And we've got the Mandalorian Huntress in the house. The two hottest men in the galaxy. Let's drink to that. Anthony. That sounds like a good one. Thank you so much, there, Mandalorian Huntress. It must be this Marlins, this old school Marlins hat that's doing it.
Gotta
the Dark
be, bro.
Jedi and Six Scale Mafia. Let's go. Good to have the Huntress in here for sure. KJ Smith, Alex B, single songwriter in here with us. Happy Sunday, collectors. Always good to have the single songwriter in here. Clone Trooper is in here as well. And Lane says, we will eventually get a show called Fog Figures presents. I think he meant Figures presents Art and I Live and Raw Toys Power Hour. Okay, cool there. Is Anthony drinking sleepy time?
I know,
too?
man. I'm awake. No, it's grade A spotchka here, but
I gotta save all the excitement for live. You know that type of energy. The whole right now for tomorrow. It's the morning. It's not coffee. Come on. Camera goes, take that off. I didn't know. I just putting this up. You got to know. If I see it, I guess I got to read all the way through. Fab figures. Yes, that's what I mean. Fab figures. Yeah, we do that. We do that, my friend. So one of the things, before I get into the market stuff here, and it's really cool because I haven't for months had somebody on doing the market value chart show. In a long time. I usually do that by myself, but Anthony and I talked, and it'd be great to get some of his insight, some of his thoughts on some of this stuff here. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is, when I bring up, and I've got Six Scale Cantina queued up here, and that's always something, a huge tool we use. But dude, I was just talking to you backstage. There's an incredible amount of hours that I put in to sixscalecantina.com. And I know it's kind of fun. Is it possible? You have to wonder all these cool things, but they're backed up with a lot of data, a lot of number crunching, and hours of research, dude. Like even so much going on today, and so much hours that I put in during the week. The hours that I put in just trying to get this show ready because I want it to be a good show, and I want it to be that I know what I'm talking about, not that I'm always right. Or the numbers are always right. Numbers are just numbers. But, dude, there's an incredible amount of time that I put into this.
Dude, a ton. As you said, we talked earlier before. And, yeah, I've mentioned that, previously, even on my show. It's like, I understand, like, the amount of work that goes into creating. I mean, content creating aside, like streaming, right? We all know it's a lot of work. Getting everything prepped, knowing what we're talking about, knowing what we're going to discuss. How do we interact with the panel? How do we interact, with the chat? Even with that aside, what you're doing with the website alone is a ton of work. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you're trying to pull in data. That data is always changing. Prices fluctuate. The market fluctuates. Keeping everybody up to date. It is a treasure to the Star Wars community. Like absolutely. So I understand and I appreciate. I'm sure everybody watching appreciates the effort that goes into it. And I know, as we've talked, you know, when we did our one-on-one on the spotlight, you know, that it is a passion project, but I think everybody can see that it is a passion project, and that's why it's so good. And even then, yeah, it's fun. You're having fun doing it, but make no mistake, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work. I think everybody appreciates it.
Well, yeah, thank you so much. And I think they do too. And I know that they do, and I know that you do. And it's crazy. And you know, gunslingers in here, welcome in here. Is it possible that this is the first time I catch you live? And I say yes. Well, then that's awesome. So good to have you in here, Gunslinger. Come on. Diablo Fett goes, Aries, can the wizard tell me when Sideshow is going to ship my Boba Fett 2-pack? In a week or two, it's coming. It's coming. I did not get my notification yet, but it's coming, and I ordered it like within I don't know, I was gonna say within an hour, probably within 3 hours of when that was released last March or whatever. But yeah, I'm hearing a lot of rumors. Diablo, we're gonna get into some of this stuff later with Ahsoka and whatnot, but I think it's gonna probably they're gonna start shipping them out over the next 1 to 2 weeks. That's what I suspect. But the other thing is too, and we have to take this in consideration. I don't know what orders those are going to be. I don't know if that's going to be a certain, you know, a certain amount, and then we're going to have to wait. It seemed like it took forever for IG-11, you know, for people to get all their orders fulfilled. Rex, maybe Anthony. Anthony, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I called Sideshow the other day for one of my orders. Now, I don't know if it was the Hot Toys wizard that took over the lady on the phone, but she had told me, because we got into chit-chatting a little bit after the end of figuring out my problem, but she had told me that Ahsoka and Loki will be shipping in the next week and a half, but in small batches. So she was very specific about that. So I'm thinking like, you know, and Boba 2-pack as well, right? She didn't mention that, but I know that people are getting those notices now. So I suspect these and the, what is it? The Tank Commander, the Tank Commander as well. So we're going to get, I think a lot in the next week or two is coming. Granted in small batches, but they are starting to come out according to what she had told me.
Yeah. And for them to tell you that, honestly, that means that they know. And that this is imminent. If they get to go ahead as a customer service agent to go ahead and unveil that type of information, it's imminent. Bugman puts in over here. Single songwriter says sometime this month. Absolutely. You know, he's right. He's right on with you and I. You know, within the next week or two here. And Bugman goes, I used your market chart to negotiate $25 off the price of a trooper last night. Well, that's great. I tell you, I talked to a lot of people, including Anthony. Fabio and I were talking about it. Fabio uses that tool all the time. You see all the figures that he has. It is a valuable tool. And again, Bugman, it's good that you can negotiate it, because the values that are up on there, and we're going to be looking at that. That's what we're going to do with this show. It's an average. So it's kind of like a batting average in baseball. So if something's $600, that doesn't mean that's the price you have to pay. Sometimes, you know, it goes for more. It goes for 700, but sometimes that means it goes for 500. Or high 400. So you can always negotiate it. It's an average. And there's ebbs and flows in that, which we're going to go over today, because is it possible that there is gargantuan news within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys? And I say yes, but it's not all trending up as usual. There are some that are trending down, and we're going to be getting into that. But look, before we do, with 56 in here, did you hit that like button yet, baby? Go ahead and show your support. SixScaleCantina.com.
But I'm going to do it right now.
There you go. Look.
There you go. I just
Anthony's going to hit that like button. Is it possible Fabio hit the like button? What about the rest of you in there? Let's go, baby. Hit the like button. Much appreciated. And look, if this is the first time you're watching this, why don't you subscribe too? Subscribe to Six Scale Cantina, the YouTube channel here. Much appreciated. But glad, Bugman, we were just talking about that. That was a benefit to you. The Thor is in the house. Greetings to you too. Great to have you in here. Weasel Figures, got my email for him. Hey. That's great. Now, Weasel Figures, did you get your email for the 2-pack Boba Fett? Is that what you're talking about, that they're going to charge? I'd be interested to know that. I'll put the chat up.
I think so. I know he's getting. Yeah. I know he's getting the 2-pack.
That would be good. That would answer that this is shipping within a week. Greetings, Senior Tony from the Thor as well. Combat Evolve, great supporter in here. Good to have Combat in here. Hi to you as well. My man, Riley's Reviews. Hello, my friends, and hello to you as well. Lane agrees with you. Heard similar. It will be a small batch for Ahsoka as well. So hearing the same thing, Lane, as you did. Fabs Figures actually chimes in on Six Scale Cantina. Best website. Check it out and bookmark it. You will use it. Trust me. Yeah, I mean it's very useful. You see Bugman there getting $25 dollars off, being able to do that. The collector number one. Hope everyone is doing great. Great supporter. Always good to have the collector number one in here. Thank you so much, Single Songwriter, putting the link in there. Come on, I'm slow to the take here. I got to actually run the show. I need help producing it. Michael Hood in the house. Awesome to have him in here. Sinister SMR. J Toys. Come on, filling up 60 in here. Smash that like button, baby. Smash it. So let's actually bring this up. I'm going to bring this up onto the screen. And I think a lot of you will know what this is. This is sixscalecantina.com. And we were talking about it. And if you don't have, like Single Songwriter mentioned, do not have sixscalecantina.com bookmarked, you may want to consider doing so. It has all the latest information on Six Scale Cantina. For instance, if you visit this regularly every day, you would know that I'm having Sunday morning coffee with Aries live today, going on right now. You see the banner in there. I got the picture of Ahsoka. I got the picture of the Grogu set. We're going to talk about that. Look at Han and Chewbacca. Look at Qui-Gon. What is going on? That's not the only figures we're going to talk about. But you get the latest. You see the market show live yesterday. That was a great show, great panel we had on yesterday as well. We totally talked up the Obi-Wan series. And so you don't want to miss that show from just last night. Right here, I got the link. And when you scroll down, the Aries Tarrington show. This week we got Easy Company Collectibles and Fabio. Last week we had Arlum, and it was fantastic having her on. Great show. Spilling our coffee over the Aries Tarrington show. So, of course, all your Six Scale Cantina news, all your Hot Toys latest news. Now, look, this is going to be part of Live and Raw tomorrow. The breaking news for just Six Scale, still from January 26th. Still not an announcement for a Six Scale figure. We're still on the wave of Casca Reeves and Axe Woves. And you have to wonder, is it possible that this part of sixscalecantina.com this week will have to be updated? And I say yes. I'm calling it. I don't know what we're going to get, but we're going to get something.
I think we're going to get Ahsoka. I mean,
we got to. We got to, Anthony. I mean, but you know what? In all fairness, we have been saying that, dude. Haven't we been saying that for months?
October.
Everyone's been. So
since October, man.
But I would think with all these shipping notifications that probably does that tell the tale, really, Anthony, that she's coming rather than now just the shipping date being March. The fact that people are getting some notifications or the thing when you called up and about Loki and her, I think that kind of seals the deal, right? It's got to be.
Yeah, because I mean, one, they wouldn't have said that to me on the phone, and two, that's just from my own experience. But for two, like what everybody else has been saying and showing, like they're getting the email notifications saying she's shipping, and then when you go on Sideshow's site, I believe it shows her and Loki is like new release. What, right? Correct. I forget what it's called, but the new arrivals, on the new arrivals tab, they're there. So with all three of those factors, yeah, I mean, right around the corner. For real this time, guys. Like, I know we've been saying it since October, but I think she's really, really here now. And
let's go to this screen so that we don't block Anthony there. There we go. So you can see all the latest news on there, but we're going to continue with sixscalecantina.com because you may want to consider bookmarking it because of the market value chart and the biggest mover section, which we're getting into right now. But before we do, Anthony, I'm going to let you answer this super chat. Lane Kramer with the $5 drop. Thank you for that support there, Lane. Something I like to hear from you two longtime collectors. The new Batman figure is 300 base. What will be your cutoff for getting Hot Toys price wise? I'll let you go first.
That's an interesting question, Lane, because I had mentioned this too on my channel. I was like, oh man, the base Batman's $300. Like the prices are coming up. So once we saw Yelena from Black Widow, right? She was $280. She doesn't come with anything. So for me, there has to be a cutoff, right? For base figures. If you're talking base figures, right? We're not looking at the deluxes or anything like that. I think 300 is probably already pushing it for just a regular figure. If they're going to get to a point where we're at $350 for a regular figure, that may be time to tap out, personally, just because I know costs are increasing and all this kind of stuff. But the problem is when things are bad and prices go up and then things get better, prices usually still stay. You know what I mean? So I don't want it to be a new norm. Like, we're already in a new norm where people are accepting $300 for a base figure, or, so I don't know what my cutoff is. Probably somewhere in the 300 to 400 range if it's just a regular I mean, and we even get that happen too right now. So I don't know, because if you get too high, then you're going to be getting in the other territories where you're like, well, I could just get a statue, maybe, at that, you know what I mean, at that point. So if I had it my way, I would prefer Hot Toys to stay in the $200 to $350 range. That's, I think, the ideal spot right there, personally.
Yeah, honestly, I'd like it even cheaper. I quite hear you, and my take
me
on
too,
it is,
but,
yeah, for me, here's the thing. I'm gonna give everyone a reality check here with Lane's question. I heard from some friends in California, gas right now is $8 a gallon. Here in my area, Western PA, $4.25 a gallon. I can tell you from being in manufacturing and production business that supplies, raw materials are going up. So we do have to take into consideration. I don't think it's necessarily, could it calm down? We'll have to keep an eye on it. But when we're talking about some of these prices for Hot Toys, I feel that they're doing not too bad, Anthony, considering the state of the world. So this is a really good question for us when we're talking about the market. I feel like it's inevitable they're going to go up. There were some figures that came out that, for instance, putting back up on the screen, and we'll have to go to Sideshow to put it up. But I actually wasn't too upset with this with this Casca, with the Fennec, with the Axe Wolves. Not bad. Not bad considering the state of the world, right?
Not bad. No, I just think that it stinks because these, at the end of the day, are a hobby and a passion, right? We're collectors. So it's very akin to, I don't know. It's like, you remember, and I don't want to sound like we're like old and like, oh, back in the day, but not even like that long ago. Like, you can take fast food, for example, like Big Macs were like $1 and now they're like $6, so you're like, well, wait, what? So it's not just in the Hot Toys world. It's like everywhere in the world, everything is like expensive. So it starts to, I think, affect us more on a Hot Toys level. Not more like financially, but I feel like because this is a hobby and we collect, you know what I mean? I feel like there's more of a heavier burden now, right? Because we're already deep into collecting and we want to get these figures. So when we see all these price hikes, you look back and say, wow, well, if I've bought 3 figures currently, that's almost like buying 5 figures a couple years ago, price wise. So it's tough when you're in it, but I agree. I mean, Casca's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's like 270, I think. And that's cool. I don't mind that. I don't, like I said, that's kind of a sweet spot. I agree with you. I'd like them a little bit lower, but if it's well made, it's under that $300 range. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you for that super chat, Lane. And single songwriter says, if everyone clicks on the like button, click on it, baby, and the Hot Toys Wizard will show up. You have to wonder. And if we get over 100 likes, Hot Toys will announce another figure this Tuesday or Thursday. I think that's the Wizard. I think the Wizard interrupts the show usually when there's about 100 likes. I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll have to see.
Thank you so much, single songwriter. Loco Lou is apparently in the house because he said, "Hey, Loco Lou,
Hey.
what's up, brother?" And good to have Loco Lou in here as well. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's continue to go back. Good question there, Lane. Good question. We'll go to Six Scale Cantina. So the other reason why you want to bookmark this is because of the biggest movers section. And here we are. And take a look at this. Wow. And you got some very, very interesting figures up on here, kind of flashing it on the screen of what we're going to talk about for the biggest movers here this week. And as I scroll down, very, very interesting stuff. You see some figures trending down, some ones that are trending up. But the one that I want to speak about here first, for this, Sunday Coffee with Aries, this market value chart show, I want to bring up this Han and Chewbacca A New Hope 2 back. And before I do, going up to the banner for this video, I do want to point out that this picture in the background, that Han Solo and that Chewbacca, is a picture taken by my good friend Dante from the man of Hot Collectibles, the maestro, the reviewer extraordinaire. Actually, you can check out his review of this Han and Chewbacca 2-pack, which I believe he brought off of Fabio Land. Fabio's in the chat. He got that figure off of Fabio. But yeah, you do want to. If you're looking for a great review on this, I can tell you that this figure that Han Solo is incredible. You definitely want to go check out this video of the Man of Hot Collectibles in there. But let's talk about this biggest movers, and we've been tracking this for months on the market value chart here at sixscalecantina.com. And this figure is absolutely going insane this set. And I'll bring something up here for another recent auction for this particular set. And I've been showing them like crazy, over the thousands. And these are auctions. Here's another one from March 7th, 9:06 p.m. ending. $1,120.99 with 40, not including the $22.99 in shipping, not including taxes. So $1,200 right there. And from a very, very outstanding seller, Reese's Rare Comics, almost 12,000, all positive feedback. And this 2-pack set right now, and this is a U.S. seller. This is another U.S. seller for this. This has gone, as they would say in Spaceballs, to plaid when going into hyperdrive warp speed, baby. Absolutely incredible how highly sought after this particular piece is here. This set within the secondary market, time after time after time again now. And actually, when you go to the market value chart at sixscalecantina.com, and remember, whenever you go to the market value chart, you can click on the arrow button in the current value column. If you click on it a couple of times, you'll get the highest ranked figures to the lowest ranked figures. So it's easy to navigate if you just want to get them up ranked. And look at here now. And I still haven't figured out how to get this to top up there without having that 99 symbol in there. But anyway, $1,083 and rising. And you have to wonder, is it possible that this 2-pack set is now going to soon breach the $1,100 tier range? And I say yes. And that is absolutely a whole new time for Star Wars Hot Toys, because there's never been a set or release for them since I've been tracking this that has gone to this level where this one is tracking right now. absolutely unbelievable on the top over here. And Anthony, I have some things to discuss about this particular two pack in general. This Han Solo and Chewbacca from A New Hope two pack. But I want to get your thoughts since you're a special guest here on Sunday Coffee with Aries and really the market value chart show live. Are you surprised about that particular set? It made history a few weeks ago, breaching the $1,000 tier range, and now it continues to march. Because I was almost thinking, oh, that can maybe sink a little bit. Keeps rising.
It definitely keeps rising. I remember looking at it a couple of years ago, right? And I think the average around then was like eight-ish. Of course, sometimes you see some higher, markups. They're just up there, but nobody's really buying them, right? So, like, noticing that, and especially with Han and Chewie and then Tarkin and Vader, they were both kind of around the same price point a couple years ago. And now they are still, I mean, obviously we see Tarkin and Vader, he is going up as well. They're still neck and neck almost, but I think the Han and Chewie is always going to hold a little bit of a higher value because they're all New Hope, but you know what I mean? They're more, is it even fair to say they're more iconic, like a Han and Chewie, versus a Tarkin and Vader? I mean, to the grand masses of the world, I would say yes. Right. A lot of people may not know who Tarkin is, but they know who
Vader
is,
but not Tarkin. So I feel like, yeah, like Tarkin is the specialty character, right? But Darth Vader, everyone knows who he is,
right?
But you got multiple.
So, like in that
versions
respect, yeah. So, but I'm not shocked because as we just talked about just previously about how costs of everything's going up. Well, so too in the secondary market.
Yeah.
It goes both ways, guys. Like it's everywhere. So, it's not too shocking to me, but when you look at the price though, in your head it is kind of shocking, right? Because you're like, wow, I'm gonna drop $1,100, sometimes $1,200 on this two pack. It's
well, and when you buy it, Anthony, and you know this from looking at the mark, when you buy this from like overseas, I mean, all day it continually sells for $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. I mean, it's selling for. Don't some busts, some statues go for that? I mean, you're talking about like that's big money, dude.
Yeah. Now I can see the 900 range. If even then, I'm trying to justify it. But if because they're two packs, if I break it down, excuse me, and I say okay, 900-ish, that's $450 a figure.
Yeah,
kind of makes sense for something that old.
Yeah, it does, which will bring me to my next thing. But first, putting in here, Link is in the house. Good to have Link in here. Hello to you as well. For sure. There's Loco Lou. Loco Lou is in here. I see that. Good to have Loco Lou in the house, and the Bugman going, Loco Lou. Come on. So this is big news here. The Han and Chewbacca A New Hope set now here at sixscalecantina.com on the market value chart, 1,083 and marching forward. But the other thing I want to go to, staying at sixscalecantina.com, is the next figure in the biggest movers section that I want to discuss. And isn't it ironic that the other figure is Han Solo A New Hope by himself? Now, this is something we've been keeping an eye on so much so, all the way from, months back since I started this last year. And wow, has this one come a long way. And also the Han Solo Stormtrooper version. But putting this up on the screen, and this is from another very, very reputable seller, a seller that I have and continue to buy off of, Hawk Wars Toys. Ray from Hawk Wars Toys, definitely a shout out to him. 1,266 feedback, all 100% positive. Again, tremendous seller. $675. $675 this sold for. Not even a best offer here, just straight up. And
sold.
His prices, and his prices, Anthony, actually, it usually with everything that he puts up, usually it's actually below what sometimes what I have up a lot of times on the market value chart. And you see this gets scooped right up, and not including the $23.90 in shippings. That's $700. So when you're talking about the two pack, the Chewbacca is going up as well, and is over, near the 500 or it's over the $500 tier range. and going up, but not necessarily as high as this part of it, but both high. But dude, this figure by itself, this is fire, man. I mean, this is fire. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
give
a
me your
lot.
thoughts on it while I pull it up.
Well, I mean, first, yeah, you're absolutely right. Ray's a great guy, man, and I love his competitive prices, man. And like you said, some people they're much higher, and that's just straight sold. That should tell you something. It wasn't even a best. There was no offer, like you were saying. That was just straight sold, without shipping. I mean, it's. I'm shocked. I'm shocked a little bit that Stormtrooper Han isn't up in this price point yet, but he's definitely climbing because it's such a unique sculpt, and I think maybe that's why he's not quite there too, because the whole body is Stormtrooper, right? Versus, the actual attire of Han Solo. So I see why this is more sought after. But that head sculpt on the Stormtrooper disguise, that is such a unique figure too, that I'm shocked at how all these are going on. All these prices, like the top 5 that you just showed, obviously Dark Side, Anakin, he's sitting. It'll be really interesting to see though what happens in the coming months with that. But yeah, I mean, Han and Chewie by themselves, I mean, you're looking at, okay, so somebody just bought this for $675. Now they're going to try to find a Chewie $400-$500 maybe. If you get a decent deal on him, you're already over that. You're almost in the same, $1,100-$1,200, maybe even $1,300 if you buy them separately. Depending on what deal you get at the time. It's just like,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. No,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And putting this up, and I can answer your question here, Pappas, about Sweden's secondary market. Well, I can tell you right now, that's going to be big news. We talk about the Emperor, and I've already mentioned it's trending down, so that's why it's going for 400, because that's what it's going for here. We're going to talk about it's trending way down. But just like we were talking to Joao, who's down in China, just on Dante's show the other night, when it comes to these Hans in that, they are super high, just as high here, if not higher there than they are here. But there's a reason with this Emperor, and we're going to talk about that along with some other figures that are trending down. But this one right now, man, I mean, it is so high within the secondary market. And let's actually go to the market value chart here at sixscalecantina.com and actually see exactly where this Han Solo by itself is sitting. Now, when you go to the market value chart, and again, bookmark the site if you haven't already, you could sort it out as I showed you before, highest to lowest, or you could actually just type in the figure here. It's real handy. And you can do this on your phone or your iPad. Just type in Han, and let's see all the Hans that come up, and you'll see all of them will come up. And let's actually go to Han Solo A New Hope, which I'll highlight here on the screen. And look at this, Anthony, MMS 261, $641 now, and rising. Wow. So that is approaching, that's higher, Anthony, than the Anakin by itself. It's higher than a lot of figures. It's actually approaching Dark Side Anakin range, not too far away for a Han Solo, dude.
It's pretty high. And a Han Trooper's like right on the back end.
He's 11 away.
Not by much.
Not by much. So there's your answer. It's almost neck and neck.
Almost. It's crazy. And I will say, I know it still pertains to the market, but when we looked at the top 5, that animated Boba Fett, man, that thing just took off. I mean, that's what I'm more shocked at out of everything else in Star Wars. Since like mid last year, if you remember, I seen animated Fett selling for $350, and it was like an overnight thing. Literally, where like the next day he was at like $700, $800, and I don't know how that, I don't know how that happened, but I haven't seen a hot toy, or at least a Star Wars toy, jump like that quick. That was shocking to me. And now the others, like we say with these Hans and stuff, I could see them. They're slowly, you know what I mean? They're slowly going up. But if you remember, Fett, the animated Fett was not that high, and then it was just like a snap.
I just highlighted it for you, as you're talking. Go ahead, but I just highlighted it. I brought it up, yeah.
He jumped like $400 overnight. I don't know if you guys remember that watching, but earlier last year, just an overnight thing. Overnight. I've never really seen that. Like with Han and Chewie, the 2-pack, we're looking at Tarkin Vader. yeah, they've been expensive, but you know, we see that slow climb, right? They're getting higher and higher and higher. But that animated was just it was like instant. Just it
Well, look
shocked
at
me.
this. The news here, Anthony, is that Boba Fett, I'm going to bring up some data on that. This TMS 006, $705. It has breached the $700 tier range. It's trending up, and it's actually the 5th ranked release in the secondary market for Hot Toys right now, right behind Dark Side Anakin. I actually think it's going to surpass it
I think
very,
so.
very shortly here. It's only $2 away. But I mean, dude, it's like close to 2 packs. You got Jeddah 2 pack, Rogue One, Tarkin Invader, and Han and Chewie. It's not going to get up to where Han and Chewie is just off the charts right now. But dude, I don't know, dude. It might. I'm going to bring up some data. So 705. Let's talk about this. I'm going to bring up. Let's see what I got on animated Fett.
Yeah, because I
Here.
think you're right, especially with the Obi-Wan coming. I know we'll talk a little bit about that, but I mean, I think that dark side's gonna you know come down in price, and I think that Fett's gonna take the price. But go ahead.
Well, this is an ongoing. This is an ongoing listing, and you got 25 watchers. Very, very good seller. All 100% positive feedback, and with 25 people watching this, brother, for $1,215, which you can buy maybe 3 figures for that price right now, or you can possibly even, 4, depending on, if you're just getting some of the
Right.
235s that are out there, dude. And then look at this. That's just the listing. Here's one that actually sold um, for much lower than that. And our guy Ray again, best offer accepted here. Hawk Wars
Mm.
Toys. This did not last long at all because he just listed this. Dude, Boba Fett. And a lot of this has happened too with this skyrocketing. Been tracking it for a while. But everyone, talks about, and we were talking a little bit about it, yesterday on the Market Show Live. And I think at the end of the day, not to go into the Boba Fett series, but certainly the 3 episodes that were really Mandalorian episodes saved it.
Mhm.
And then the
Oh yeah.
last episode's up 36% in the ratings. So that's all people care about is Mandalorian. They're like, oh, yeah. So it's kind of like they saved themselves with it. But dude, Boba Fett right now, all of them are hot. You would think because some controversy with the series that he would be like down, no one's interested. But I don't know. I think those ratings have something to do with it. He's up. I don't know if the Mandalorian helped him or whatnot. But dude, this is insane.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think Mando definitely helped. I don't think the show would have maybe been as well received without those few episodes in there in the mix. But at the end of the day, I think it's still an amazing it's an amazing piece. It's Boba Fett no matter what, right? Like how we may not have been fans, some of us may not have been fans of the sequels, but they didn't ruin the characters, right? For me, like I will always Luke Skywalker will always be Luke Skywalker to me, no matter what happens in the in the present, the future sense, right? So I feel that's the same way with Boba Fett. Boba Fett is still beloved by so many people, regardless of whether or not they enjoy or dislike the new stuff. They still have the memories of what the character is, things like that, whatever attachments they have to it. So Boba Fett's extremely popular, and I'm sure the show helped a lot. And I know it didn't for some,
Mhm.
but but this is a perfect example of what a Grail is.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in the truer sense, yes, some things are out of reach because they've been sold out for a while, and people are saying, "Oh, it's a Grail," but things like this, like I don't think they would personally reissue this figure, right? There's a chance we may get another Han Solo down the road, a Chewie, perhaps. Even then, I don't think like certain figures like these. I don't think these types of figures are coming back, and I think maybe at some point a light bulb went off on somebody and they just hit that price super high one day and then he just stayed there. You know what I mean? He just stayed there. And then everybody else who had it was like, damn, he's selling it for $700. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna sell, and then it stuck. So it's crazy. And I missed him. And I literally missed him. Like I had a friend of mine last year that was gonna sell it for about $300. And because it wasn't that expensive, like I said, it kind of went like this overnight thing, and I was like, oh man, maybe I'll wait because I got some other new figures coming in, and then I kicked myself, because like a few weeks later it just shot up, He's like, dude, I just sold that for like $700 or something. I was like, all right, fair
Well,
enough. I told you I didn't want it, and you got a lot of money for it. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's so crazy. And I want to get into that reissue thing with you real quick here. 92, 93 watching. Local Lou says in here, hit that like button. Look, not only hit that like button, much appreciate your support. But if you've never seen this show before, or if you are not subscribed to Six Scale Cantina, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because you'll also get all the notifications of when I'm going live. We're going to get that Ahsoka soon. We're going to be getting a lot of announcements, and you have to wonder if I'm going to be doing some impromptu live and raws, or if it's going to coincide right with the show that I have planned. And if it does, lots of coffee, baby. Lots of coffee. So definitely subscribe, and subscribe to this man, my co-host in here today. It's good to have you in here talking
Thank
this
you, my friend. It's good to
market
be here.
stuff. Yeah. And I've got Six Scale Mafia in the video description below to subscribe to Anthony. And I also got him in here. And thank you so much for that chat there, local Lou. I've got him right at sixscalecantina.com, right in the resources and links tab in here as well, which we'll go to in a minute to kind of show that. But I want to ask this question to you. So we look at this. You bring up an interesting point. You got, Dark Side Anakin, $707 in steady. Boba Fett animated, $705 in Rising. You got Han Solo A New Hope, $641 in Rising. Tarkin and Vader rising up. You got the 2-pack Han and Chewie we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to wonder, Anthony, here's an interesting thing. The Attack of the Clone Yodas was also hitting very, very high within the secondary market. That Hot Toys was like, let's just reissue this. And they did. They just straight up reissued it. And now that figure, I was showing data over the last few weeks, is trending up and is higher now than it actually was ever before they reissued it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real interesting. But I will tell you, these figures we're talking about here, buddy, they're hotter than the Attack of the Clone Yoda is. And with how hot Star Wars is, if I'm looking at this and I'm on the board of Hot Toys, or I'm an investor, I'm like, listen, come on. They're paying how much for this 2-pack, and we reissued the Attack of the Clones Yoda? Why aren't we cashing in on this? Now, here's the thing. You bring up a very interesting point about the animated Fett. I would almost venture to them, be like, let's put out another, because the vintage color Boba Fett is going off the charts. It's over 400 now. And I was telling people it was gonna hit 3, it was gonna hit 350, it was gonna hit 4. I think by the end of this year, that will be over 5. And that will eventually get to the 600-700, where this is too. I've been calling that for a long time. But I would almost be like, don't reissue the vintage color Boba Fett. Don't reissue this animated one, because these are going to go for a lot. Let's put up a white prototype one. Let's put up an ending credit scene Boba Fett. Let's put up something crazy, like not Venomized Boba Fett, but something like a prototype one.
Right,
because
like kind of what you were saying with
yeah.
What are they? The anime? I'm so
the
bad.
Credit scene, ending credit.
Yeah. Like they were doing those
like
with
the little artist things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would almost think do that, because that kind of, I think that they will reissue these. They're too high, but I almost feel like from a business standpoint, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Keep it out there, but put out other ones where people are like, oh, I better grab these, because they're going to go where the animated Fett and the vintage are. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think they would, but I mean, Hot Toys is also strange, right? Because they'll do.
Ain't that the truth?
Right? Like we don't. Yeah, they just Hot Toys being Hot Toys. We don't know.
Yeah.
I think the issue here is, in my opinion, I would see a higher likelihood of reissuing, let's say, the Han and Chewie, or well, let's just say Han and Chewie right now, because the Tarkin Vader is different. I don't. Because we got an Obi-Wan show coming, things like that. But more, or even let's take a Luke Skywalker or a Princess Leia or somebody like that. I think there's a higher likelihood of them reissuing a baseline figure than, say, the animated or vintage Fett, right? It would make more sense in a business standpoint, right? Because you're going for the top tier characters. And I'm not to say that Boba Fett's not there, but because there's such a unique version of the figure, I think it's best to just let them sit and then bring back some other ones. But it's weird, right? Because I remember, and Kiko collects. He's been on here, been on mine. Great guy. I know, like a month or so ago, he had put out a video that I found interesting too, because he kind of broke down the math a little bit to the point where he was saying it's about 5% chance, through everything. There's always that's about a 5% reissue rate thus far. Through everything, Marvel, Star Wars, etc. But so if we're talking Star Wars, there's a 5% reissue rate. So when you think about that, if they stay par for the course, I would think they'd be more likely to bring back a New Hope person, Luke, Han, Chewie, Leia. Even though the prices are high on those special ones, I think they're gonna leave them there just because they're super unique, right? Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah, and I think from asking you this question, and the point is, and I think you're driving it home, is it possible that they're going to give us more unique figures because of this trend and hold with these fets reissuing them? I do think they're going to reissue them. I just think that they're going to do it down the road. And like you said, they're not going to do it now. Yeah. But they're going to keep giving you these. And then all of a sudden, wow, that animated Boba Fett is going to be what, $2,000. And all of a sudden, what's to stop them in 3 or 4 years, Anthony? I'm saying, hey, by the way, here's a special animated Boba Fett we're going to put out for this con. People are going to lose their mind if they do that. But because of the 5%, which is interesting that Kiko said that, because it's a truism. It's an absolute truism. 5%'s a lot. It is. That means you had it with the Attack of the Clones Yoda. And here's the other point. It's possible. Is it possible that percentage can increase? Because even when they reissued that Attack of the Clones Yoda, Star Wars was not as hot as it is right now. We don't even got a new freaking movie. So that could increase.
Yeah, and it's interesting how trends are set as well, right? Because now this is 100%. It's not even speculating, but I'm just saying as 100%, like totally out there. Let's say the Obi-Wan show comes out or something else, the Ahsoka show, or I don't know, timeline wise, who knows? But what if we see a Yoda again, right, in an upcoming show, and he's more of like the clone version, he's more prequel Yoda. See, if something like that happens, that's where we start seeing these trends, right? Because then all of a sudden he's relevant again, like, currently relevant. So then you look at the older figures and then all of a sudden they shoot. Like, remember when Luke returned in Mando? We had the Return of the Jedi Luke, and then we had the Return of the Jedi Deluxe Luke, and that thing just skyrocketed like overnight. So it's not too surprising to me, but at the same time, it's a gambler's market sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, and you know what's funny? I'm going to move off that before we go to the next figures here. And I want to talk a little bit about Han and Chewbacca. And it is, they straight reissued the Attack of the Clones Yoda, straight, same packaging, everything. Did you know that they actually reissued this already, this Han and Chewbacca New Hope?
They did.
Already reissued.
Straight. They did, yes.
So you have to wonder. Sometimes companies repeat their patterns, especially when an IP is hot, hot, hot. So I'm going to tell you right now, and I've been telling people this, because they're asking me, look, is it worth it to get this Han and Chewbacca at this price? I personally wouldn't buy it, even though I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I would hunt it down because I really think in my gut, and I go with my gut a lot, dude, that this could get reissued again, or there's going to be some type of version that's going to come up if you hold off. I think you're certainly going to get a Han Bespin or a Han Endor or a Han Hoth. I really do, with that same head sculpt. And I think they're just going to repaint it. It actually holds up to today. I was using that banner, scrolling back up over here from the Manaha Collectibles. This was from his review. I mean, look at that freaking Harrison Ford there with that Chewbacca. You see it on the screen, dude. I've got this figure. You've got this figure.
Same, yeah.
It's nice.
It's not nice, bad at all. I mean, it holds up really well. I think I prefer the Stormtrooper Han. I like the smirk, but that's preference.
I have that one too.
Right, but when you're looking at the baseline, though, right, like you said, just looking at the figure, you can tell that's Han Solo. That's Harrison Ford. It still holds up phenomenally.
Yeah, and I feel like with the IP going so high right now, it wouldn't. Let me put it to you this way. I'll say it like this. We talk about percentages, 5%, 1%,
Mhm.
10%. If I woke up tomorrow and this pack was reissued, are you going to spill your coffee shocked? Or would you be like, okay, I get it.
No, I would be shocked. I would still be shocked.
You would
And
still
the
be
reason I
shocked.
would be shocked, I wouldn't be shocked at Hot Toys for doing something to combat resellers,
Hmm.
secondary
I think
market.
I'm right with you with this. Yep, keep going.
But
Yep.
I would be shocked because there's so much stuff that they're doing, like that they have to do
Hmm.
that look, there's no like magical treasure box where like Han and Chewie are sitting. Yes, they've done them. They have the molds and everything, but they still have to go through production again. They'd still have to make the packaging. They'd still have to, there's still time there that they would have to invest in order to do that. And like I said, on one hand, I absolutely agree. We see it all the time. When things get too out of control on secondary market, boom,
Bang.
get something, right? We just got a Nightmare Batman 2-pack, that just
Bang.
killed the market for him. We got another War Machine Mark 1, plummeted,
Bang.
So I definitely know that Hot Toys is capable of doing this. They've proven it. It's just when we're talking specifically Star Wars, there's so many figures coming out that I don't know if they have time or the resources right now to like bump out to do that. So I would be shocked. I would be shocked if it came out, and I would feel for people who would just maybe purchased this. Like you
I
said, we
would
just
feel
looked at that
so-
eBay selling, and then what if
So-
they're like, here it is?
I would feel so bad too. So what would you recommend people that first of all, I always recommend hunting because you can
Mhm.
definitely like someone put in here in the chat that they picked up, and if I can go back to that chat, they picked up a clone, not a clone. Where is it here? I think I can find it. They picked up a Han Stormtrooper missing a couple of pieces for like 400 something, which
Okay.
is not bad.
No.
And I think that if you're like, for me, I have to have all the pieces. If it's missing the accessories, I don't. But I see like here's an interesting thing. I'll bring this up. You can always get deals if you're looking for missing accessories, stuff that is missing. Let's see if I have this actually up over here because I hope I have this. Where is this figure? And okay, well, I don't have her up, but one figure that has been going crazy is Jyn Erso, no
Oh, yeah.
matter what version. And she just sold for $450 a version of her, and it was missing stuff. And it still went for $450. I see that. And a lot of times people jump on that, Anthony, because they're like, oh, I can get a deal. I don't care about that piece. I don't care about that. I don't
Right.
care if it's missing this. But dude, that's a lot of money for a figure.
That's a lot.
Missing piece.
Like I got to put it into perspective here for everybody watching, and I don't even know if I told you this before either, Aries, but I got my Han Solo, my New Hope, the New Hope that we have. I bought Han Solo. He came in a shoebox, dude. Like I didn't even get I don't have his box. He literally came in a shoebox. The guy just shipped it in a shoebox, all loose.
Was it
He
Air
had
Jordan
everything
shoebox?
though. Yeah, he had everything except the base and the box, right? I gave him $225 for him.
Hmm.
Sorry, he wanted like $350. I talked him down. I was like, no,
No.
because like you're saying,
You could talk him. Yep.
I would not buy a Jyn Erso that's incomplete for that kind of money. It's
No.
crazy. Like
I'd rather spend the
because-
extra little bit more and get it freaking complete than if I'm going to invest
Yeah.
that in it.
So to me, that was a no-brainer. I was like, well, I don't need the box. You can find the box online if you really want to buy a box, for not too expensive. So I just feel like you had mentioned, there are deals out there if you're gonna go backwards. Because I think that's where you were going with that, right? Like if you're gonna, what do you do? Do you wait? Well, yeah.
Do you
can
wait? Like people would ask me saying, Aries, I want to get that Han Solo, or I want to get that, this figure, or I want to get that animated Fett now. Oh, I thought I was gonna save 500 for it, but now like someone picked one up. Oh, I got 500. Now I got to spend 1,000 on it. I feel like if you have patience, there's no legal jargon that says that they can't down the road
Correct.
release. And I think you're going to get multiple versions. Don't think they had no problem selling out not only of that animated Boba Fett eventually, and that freaking actually that was in there for a little bit. but that was a dark time again for Star Wars.
Right.
But the vintage color Fett went.
I have them right
There's
there.
no way you're not going to get the prototype white Boba Fett. You're going to get one. They're going to absolutely do stuff like that because they
Right,
know
because
people will
Sideshow
buy
had
it.
theirs.
Oh, and that's really high in the secondary market. Dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
high. It's expensive.
Super high.
So I mean, they're going to do things like that, and I feel like
Mhm.
right now, if you have some patience like that, Han, it's only going to go so high. Here's the thing where it would come earlier than people expect. They have a certain amount of time sometimes for licenses. Sometimes they're 5 years, sometimes they're 10 years, sometimes they're going to be 12 years on certain like sign-offs. So
Right.
if there's like it's running out of time for that particular figure with Harrison Ford, they have to renew it. They may be like, you know what, even with everything on dock, because it's going that way, put that one out. It's like, oh, we got a few years, we got enough going on, like you say. But if there's something that we don't know contractually that they
That's
need to
very
get
true.
going, they may. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're holding on to that Han, or if you're about to go spend $1,000, like, hey, I got a great deal. I got that Han and Chewbacca set for 900, okay, or 800. It's a lot of money, dude. And then if it
It's
gets
still a lot of money.
reissued and you could pick that up for $500, you know, one morning when you wake up, you're going to be like, F, frack.
Exactly. Well, it all depends on your desire. Like, how badly do you want it? Because again, that's the game we're in. Because there's no guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's
we
the
could
key
say
word.
till we're blue in the face, right? Like, oh, they're going to reissue it. They're going to reissue it. But when? In 8 years? Or tomorrow? Like,
or 8 minutes. You don't know.
We don't know, right? That's the thing. So if you are going to go backwards, like you had mentioned, you have to do some research. You know, obviously, checking out your website, seeing what the current value is going for is a great resource. Then you start talking to people and doing feelers and say, okay, well, maybe if I really want this, I can find it. Don't just jump on an eBay price and pick something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to people, talk to groups, you know, throw out a couple of nets and just be like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Does anybody have it? You know, things like that. You can find deals if you're dead set, right? If you're dead set on, I need this figure, I have to have this figure. Like you said, the guy who bought that incomplete Jyn Erso. Well, that's cool if you're cool with that. You know what I mean? If if it fits in your budget and you really want that figure, yes. But dude, you're right. I mean, they can just reissue, and I feel like I think you're onto something too, because the whole situation that happened recently with Jazz Inc. and the DeLorean. Like, he was in talks with Universal to get the DeLorean so he can start building a DeLorean. And then immediately Hot Toys is like, boom, here's the DeLorean, guys. And they went to the 2016 prototype that they had, and they released images of that.
Right.
So I think that's going to change, right? They're going to do some improvements to it. But that was the whole point, like what you're talking about. It could be a contractual thing, right? Where they're like, oh,
if
no,
Han
if
Solo,
we don't do it, we lose the license.
If they've only got, like, let's say a couple of years left on that sign off and they don't have to re-sign it, they can reissue whenever they want. We just don't know.
Right.
And that's what I always tell people, because I don't have, like, people reach out to like, hey, you don't like Chirrut? I love Chirrut. I'm just not going to pay the prices for it. Well, why don't you have that figure? Why don't you have Tarkin? I'm not paying the price for it.
Yeah.
And I love Star Wars. It's just that, but you buy new figures and sometimes 2 or 3 at a time, right? It's just, I know, because Star Wars is hot and we don't have Rian Johnson, thank God. He's a great director, but didn't know Star Wars. Directing anything
Agreed.
for Star Wars right now, I have confidence. We don't even have a freaking movie yet. And it is the hottest thing on planet Earth right now, Star Wars. It's all with TV shows. So I am banking that some of these characters is a possible. And I say eventually, yes. Now, with 102 in here, did you smash that like button yet, baby? Please go ahead and show your support. Thank you so much. And if this is the first time that you're watching Sunday Coffee with Aries, it was morning coffee every Sunday. Now this is the third show. We changed it to Sunday Coffee. Go ahead and make sure you subscribe to sixscalecantina.com over here. So listen, there's other figures that are obviously trending up. I want to talk about some of the figures, Anthony, that are trending down. And
Ooh.
I was talking about the Emperor actually, and this has happened before with the Emperor last year. So I'm gonna put this with a little bit of a caveat. That should maybe give you some insight on where I think the long term is going to be. We're also going to talk about Chirrut, and we're also going to talk about Luke Jedi Knight. All figures, two of them OTs that are plummeting. Now, I was telling you I was seeing some signs. Let's actually go. You see the Emperor Deluxe here. And I'm going to put this up on the screen of a recent um, uh, auction for an Emperor Deluxe. I'm pulling this up onto the screen. You can see right here, just back from March 2nd, Anthony, just $435. And
Wow.
again,
That's
not
cheap.
not not incredible amount of feedback, but I think it's a significant amount. Not like Hawk Wars or some of those that have hundreds,
Oh,
but
sure. But it
100%
had
positive.
bids. I mean, 17
Yeah.
bids. That's
32 in shipping. Okay, so you could take 10 off that, or well, actually, no, not with this set. I think that's about apropos. It's big, so that's about big, not including taxes. Still a lot of money. With that, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up over here as well. With the Emperor Deluxe, and you can see right here, um, even from very recently with the shipping box, which sometimes people like this, sometimes
yeah.
people don't because they don't know what's inside, depending on the seller. But even someone here with a lot more feedback, 100%. 575 with 15 bids. What I've been seeing recently with this particular set um, is a continual downtrend over the last 3 months that now I've collected enough data. This is trending down within the secondary market. The other ones I want to bring up, I'm going to bring these all up in tandem.
Mm.
Um, when you look at this figure, I think there's different stories for each. But I'm going to bring up Luke. And I love doing this on these shows because people are always talking about, hey, Aries, you don't got a Tarkin. Well, it's so high. Well, if I didn't have a Return of the Jedi Luke, is it possible the Dark Jedi would be buying one right now?
I
And
would.
I say yes, because right now it is insane, dude, how inexpensive this figure is. Now, I will tell you, the Endor ones are complete opposite.
I
Like
know, and
the
that's the one I need.
Yeah, and the Endor one, even the Endor non-deluxe is killing this one, killing it. And the Endor deluxe one, forget about it. It is approaching 600. I think it's going to breach it. I don't think that one's coming anytime soon, ever again. I'm being honest with you. I just don't with everything they're doing with Luke. But
Yeah, I
here's the
agree.
thing: if you're looking for a Luke right now, let's stay with these two
Mm.
because people have asked me, "Hey, well, you see, this one's going to be low." I don't really feel. I feel like now's the time. I don't think that there's a chance in hell that this Jedi Knight version of Luke in the long term stays at these prices. But I tell you, I've got so much on this. But I think just like the Mud Trooper, I was doing this with the Mud Trooper. I mean, I had the Mud Trooper going back about 5 months ago, dude, going for 270 bucks. And I said, listen, just give it some months' time. If you're looking for a Mud Trooper, now's the time because eventually it'll get back over 400. And right now, that one is rising and selling right at around 350 and trending up. It's hot again. And I think the same thing is going to happen with this. But I think, giving people an opportunity, if they want to look for a Luke right now, this is close to retail. And
Yeah.
The Emperor Deluxe, I don't think that's going to stay low either, especially with the upcoming Obi-Wan show. I think he's going to be in
I was
it, whether,
shocked. I was
yeah,
shocked at that price you showed.
yeah. How long
The
do you
first
think
one.
this will happen? And I mean, I think right now, if you're looking for, I don't think 400, if you could pick up 400 something dollars for that deluxe set, I don't necessarily think it's a bad price right now, dude. I don't think it's
That's
going to
not
stay
a
there.
bad price at all. At all. I'm actually kind of shocked that he had dipped that way. Same with this Luke, actually. But I mean, maybe a little bit different with Luke because like the Luke hype hit really hard season 2 Mando,
Hmm.
and then obviously they skyrocketed. But then they announced the season 2 Mando, Luke Skywalker, right, which is kind of around the corner if you think about it now.
Hmm.
He will be out sooner than we realize.
Hmm.
So I can kind of see this one going down a little, right? Because sometimes it's like you're almost trading in, think of it like a vehicle or something, and you're trading in for a newer model, perhaps. That I feel like there's definitely collectors in the market that kind of follow that principle, right? Oh, well, there's a better, newer version. Maybe I'll get. I see it all the time in Marvel, especially, right? You have like the original Hawkeye, and then there's another Hawkeye that looks a little bit better, so on and so forth. And finally, you get to the end game Hawkeye with the deluxe, with the Ronin outfit, and then he can still be. You know what I mean? People often will try to do that. They'll cycle some of their older specific figures for their newer ones, and then of course there's others where we just collect them all. So it's a little shocking for the Emperor, though, because we haven't had that happen. And you would think, actually, in my opinion, I thought the Emperor would go up. Like you
we
mentioned, because
actually
of
did.
Obi-Wan.
Here's the interesting thing. This actually happened to this last year, late summer. No, it was right when the fall started, dude. It actually happened like this. It lasted for about 2 months, and then it went freaking way up and higher than it ever was before. Went back to 600 and trended up 635 and beyond. And now it's happening again. I wonder what, but it doesn't happen with certain figures. Like it doesn't happen with the figures that we were just talking about. It doesn't happen with a lot of them, but it's happening with this again. But I feel like now, like you're looking at this here, and I've been noticing this, like, oh, dude. But then we just had from more recent. I know we're only talking days. So, but maybe it's significant. You bring this up, and it doesn't have a lot of pictures, but it does have the shipping box, and all of a sudden that's way more. But I don't know, because of the series that freaking Obi-Wan show trailer just came out, and a lot of people are thinking, because you want to kind of establish Vader's agony, that maybe we're going to get something about the Emperor in there, which I think pushes this way up. I don't know. I just feel like if someone's looking for a deluxe Emperor, I've been showing signs, but now I guess in a way, maybe signs that it's going back up. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe for this particular one too. Like you said, I know it's kind of weird with, some people really enjoy having the shipper. 575 sounds, 575 is about the price. That's about the price. That's why I was kind of tripping on the other one. I was like, wow, that's pretty low. It could be because, the guy had a lower feedback, so he's not a big account. Sometimes eBay does that too, right? If you're not like a it's like an algorithm situation.
Yeah. When it just
and then somebody could get lucky on something and snipe it at a good deal. But I would think it would go up too, because who knows? I don't think he's going to be in the Obi-Wan show, but you never know, man, because we know Vader's there. So it would be really cool to, I know I'm speculating here, because I'm thinking, how cool it would be if we had an Emperor and having some kind of banter between him and Vader going out. Like, it's just something, right? Like, you would think if that happens, then this is going to kind of go up, right? Because people have been clamoring for a Palpatine, and they're not giving us a Palpatine.
Here's the thing. You can throw characters in for fan service, right? But one of the things, the Emperor plays such mind tricks with Vader. And it appears in your anger, you killed her. And he screams out, no. And I really hope, even though this is an Obi-Wan series, that because we're going to see some development in the character of Vader, it's 10 years after that, but 10 years before how awesome he was with Rogue One, that maybe we see some of that tension between the two of them. That's why I'm hoping he's in there, because I want to see more about, they got Hayden Christensen in there. I want to see some emotion. So I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like maybe he's in there for that. For that development.
Really cool.
Yeah,
I think
it would be cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, with this, here's the thing. Like, look, the collector in the house. Good to have the collector in here. I sold my Emperor for $850. I just couldn't pass that money as someone who doesn't have a huge income. And here's what's been happening the last few months. That Emperor has been selling for high 400s, in the 500s, and sometimes up in the high 500s, but not as much 600-700 as it was a few months prior to that. Now you have to wonder. That actually happened last year as well, but then went back. Now I think with this show, whether he's in it or not, because of Vader and Obi-Wan, Order 66, that timeline, I think that this goes back, because there are ebbs and flows, but not ebbs and flows to the magnitude of this. And the Luke is insane. I think there's a lot of reasons with the Luke, but
that Luke irritates me.
Yeah.
Because, no, seriously, because you want to talk about problems, right? Where we talk about, do we go backwards? Are they going to reissue things of that nature, right? And I have been that Endor Luke is a perfect example from my own experience in collecting, where I missed him and I was waiting and I was waiting and I was waiting and I'm still waiting, and I was like, is this price going to come down? Because I want this figure just so I can put him on the Return of the Jedi speeder bike when it comes out. So look, I'm like,
here's one right here. They list it. They have two for like, what a bargain. It's $11 under 600 gone. I mean, this is insane. And the non-deluxe one is starting to show signs of trending up. I understand this doesn't have the fat suit. I guess the two head sculpts, I'll be honest with you, it tells the story a little bit, dude, about a lot of people were thinking that, and I'm sure some collectors still are, that they're going to get that Mandalorian Luke Skywalker with Grogu and use that to pose with the Emperor and Darth Vader and Leia and Endor. I'm being honest with you, dude. I don't feel that, though. I don't feel like that figure works. I'm not going to pose that with Leia and Endor. It just doesn't. It doesn't work for me.
No. And the sculpt is the deep fake sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
It is. We clearly can see it, right? It's not Luke. It's what a screen accurate version. And at that time, that's exactly what it was. It was the deep fake of him. So they nailed it. But I don't feel like that's you're right. Like, it doesn't, you can tell when you look at it that it's a great looking figure, but it does not look like original trilogy Luke. So it doesn't, in my opinion, feel like it would fit. Now, I get it. If you want to buy a retail Luke Skywalker figure and, put it with your, display, but just out of the fact that, it's retail and you need a Luke, maybe some people would do that, right? But you're right. It's very Mando Luke. So it's more fitting for the Mando line.
Yeah, and I don't know, even though, we're talking about some reissues as well and what they could reissue, I just feel like with all the Lukes they're coming out with, I hate to disappoint people with this one. I'm not saying they probably will at some point, but I don't see a Return of the Jedi Luke that this one coming out. I just don't feel it with this one, dude.
No, if they would do anything, it would be like A New Hope or something.
Yeah,
right?
One's
or Empire. I mean, hell, they teased this Bespin Luke again, so we're more likely getting that before this, and that's dude,
that's
hard.
Another figure that's going up. I mean, and I know this is from February, but it's good. Dude, would you ever think that this freaking figure would go
February was just last month, so
I know.
It's okay.
$586 with 42 bids. That included $20 in shipping, so it's over $600. That included the taxes for A New Hope. I remember picking this up a couple of years ago now, maybe it was a year and a half ago. I don't remember. Right here in Western PA, I met somebody and outside of some restaurant, and just picked it up. It was great, and I picked it up for everything. It was $300, which I thought was a good deal.
Oh, absolutely.
But now, like, holy crap, it's like double that.
Double. And the thing about this Luke, I will say this is a Luke that is, how do I put this? Very similar. I'm gonna segue just for a second to tell you, because I just mentioned this to Local Lou, as a matter of fact, and a couple other people. I just picked up this zombie Deadpool hot toy, right? And I love the fact that he comes with so much stuff. Right? He's got 3 different sets of eyes, 2 different mouthpieces. He comes with a ton of accessories. That's the standard that I want from Hot Toys. Like, I love having this crazy mix of stuff. And that Luke, that New Hope Luke, I don't think a lot of people realize how much stuff he has. And that's where I'm saying, like, I love when you get a Hot Toy that has a ton of stuff. He's got the poncho, the hat.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff. He's got the droid, the training mask. He's just got so much stuff that's what I really, really, really like. So I can totally see him going up where he's at in that price right now. and the fact that it's original Luke. So he's got two really good things going for him right there.
Do you got that figure?
Oh, absolutely. He is right. Well, I don't think you can see him. He's right next to Leia. I have him with the mask down, and I've got his arm. Can I do this? Oh God, I'm gonna screw everything up. Watch. There he is.
Yep.
Where am I? Right there. It's hard to see with my lights, but he has I got the helmet on, and he's holding his lightsaber like he's training. So, and then sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's wearing a poncho and a little beanie hat with the rifle. Like you know what I'm saying? You can mix them up so much that I love pieces like that where you have such versatility. And again, it's original Luke, so he's got two great things going for him. It's no surprise he's $600.
Yeah, with 110 in here, thank you so much for watching Sunday Coffee with Aries. Anthony and I from Six Scale Mafia, we're kind of talking a lot of stuff within the secondary market. And I haven't had a guest with the market value chart show, which really is what Sunday Coffee, which used to be morning coffee the last two episodes. But this is a lot of fun. Great getting your perspective in here, my man.
Oh, absolutely, man. And again, thank you. It's always a pleasure being here. Always, whether we're doing the big streams, whether we're doing the one-on-ones. This is just talking shop, man, talking Star Wars and really getting dirty with collecting. What's the prices and is it worth getting into that? Are they going to reissue? These are things that I think collectors often wonder. I wonder. Never mind the fact that we are content creators, but first and foremost, we're collectors, right? So it's like we have to factor in all these variables if we're hunting down old figures or if we decide to wait. It's valuable information, I think, because some people will just on a whim buy a figure and not know, and just be like, oh, well, that's the price on eBay. Buy it now. Okay.
Yeah. And I was looking at Mercari as well. And I don't know, maybe I'll start factoring them in, but honestly, those prices, sometimes they go for even higher on there, to be honest with you, but there's a lot of fees associated with it. But anyway, not to digress. So do you feel with the Emperor Deluxe or that Luke Skywalker that those are that's the trend, that's where they're going to stay, or do you feel that they will go back to where they were?
I think they may change. But only because everything's weird and the market's always, fluctuating. I think they get to a certain point and then they plateau, right? I think.
And you're seeing it with them. And let me bring this one up. And it might be interesting with that Luke Jedi Knight because you can get that Endor one. But here's the thing I'm going to say about that. As that deluxe Endor and non-deluxe one continue to go up, I think that one, personally, if I had to choose between that one and the Endor non-deluxe one, I would get that one. I think people are going to start noticing that, and that figure is going to go back up high. So I think now is the time, is what I'm calling. Obviously, the deluxe Endor set, it's the bomb. You got like two sculpts. It has a crap, dude. It's a good one. But here's another one that was trending down, which I think is not. I think it's going to go right with the Mud Trooper. Let's get your thoughts. Chirrut, man, there's been no demand right now, which is crazy. Only 4 bids. Someone scooped up a deluxe one for $330. And there was ones that are selling for that are like $310, $315. Now, I mind you, if you go look this up on eBay, they're like all these listings for $500, $550, $600.
Sure, they're just listed there.
But they're not moving at that price right now. But I really say, if you're looking for a Chirrut, now is the time. Now is the time, because I'm telling you, in my view, this will not stay that way. This will absolutely go back. I think this is one of those anomalies like the Mud Trooper. Like we're seeing with that Emperor Deluxe. I think we're both in agreement that figure. We're already, I think, maybe even seeing it, especially with this Obi-Wan show that's going to be. But what is your thoughts on this? I feel like if you're looking for a Chirrut, not far from retail for the deluxe version anyway, you may want to keep an eye on it. But as soon as I say that, these start going up a lot again.
Yeah. Look, $400 for Chirrut. Actually, it's Canadian, right?
Yeah. This is $330, $70,
so $330, $330.
43 shipping. Yeah. It's close to $400 when you add the taxes.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad.
That is not bad. Now, was this okay? This ended. Okay, yeah. So this actually. Oh, so okay. That was the final price. Yeah, that's a steal. That's a
I
steal.
think so.
I
Because you got to
think-
go. Yeah.
No, I was just saying. I think Rogue One is very specific, right? Like, it's a one of a kind movie versus the whole back catalog of the original trilogy, or even if you want to go through a back catalog of the prequels, right? Either one. Rogue One is its own standalone, and I think every figure in that line is amazing. I pretty much have everything from Rogue One. Just a couple of troopers I do not have, but I have all the main figures, and so I feel like they're not very again. There's relevancy, right? Right now, we talked about this earlier. How Star Wars was kind of dead for a while, and a lot of these figures just sat on shelves. Now the hype's back. It's been rolling. It's just steamrolling everything, right? Star Wars. But the limelight right now, I feel like, is original trilogy and then prequels / Clone War, right? Because they're kind of mixing the two in like Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. That I feel like because of what's going on in the current shows, they're kind of stealing the limelight away from Rogue One. And everybody's getting so hyped over these new shows and the returns of like Obi-Wan, possibly we might see a live action Rex or something like, they're mixed, the way they're mixing in the originals and prequels. Rogue One's almost getting a back seat, and people are getting so hyped that I think some of the Rogue Ones are coming down a little bit, because people are like, well, I want to get all this new stuff. Like the I don't want to say like the hype train's passed, right? Because the Rogue One's a great movie and the figures are phenomenal, but where we're at now in present time Star Wars, they're not very relevant. But that could change with Andor, right? When Andor comes out,
it's going to be real interesting when that comes out. Honestly, you bring up a great point. Well, let's go into figures that are trending up again, and I will bring this up. It's in the biggest mover section at sixscalecantina.com, and apparently from the book of Boba Fett, and obviously the hype from the Mandalorian, this figure. So again, I just saw one that sold for like $450, $440, $447, $443, $425. Oh, there was one on the great price, $415, sold immediately. So when you look at some of these, when you just bring them all up, now here's a bargain: $425, not included the 25 in shipping or taxes, has 26 watchers. That's a big key, Anthony. When you take a look at some of these and you're wondering what's fluff and there's nobody watching it, but when you see 26 people, watching a freaking heavy infantry Mandalorian, this just came out basically at $425. That's because a lot of these other prices, $450, $445, $420, $474, $499. I can go on and on and on. This figure here, when you go to the biggest mover section at sixscalecantina.com, and remember, everybody who's coming in a little bit later, if you don't have sixscalecantina.com bookmarked, you may want to consider doing so. It has all your latest news on the channel. Like you see, this show is going on right now. But all your secondary market news, including all the Hot Toys news, which still for 1/6 anyway, we're still talking Casca and Axe 126. Is this section going to be updated? And I say yes, very, very shortly. But the biggest mover section, you see the heavy infantry Mandalorian right by the animated Boba Fett. Of course, we're talking about Emperor. That has a big trending down on it for now anyway. Dude, Boba Fett, Mandalorian.
He's crazy.
Mandalorian himself. This is another one. I will tell you that this one's weird. We're going to talk about this one in a minute.
Yeah, let's, because that is weird.
Yeah. Heavy infantry Mandalorian, though. I'm not surprised by this, dude.
I'm not surprised, but I'm gonna sound this like a weird politician answer. I'd be like, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I am surprised. You know? And the reason I say it is because we were there. This was last year. Whether you're a new collector, whether you're a veteran collector, this was not long ago.
No.
That heavy infantry Mando just hit the shelves. Now, granted, he did hit waitlist before Sideshow got him, which was a rarity. But I mean, it's weird because you just think like sometimes you get a figure just comes out, and here it is at retail. And in a blink of an eye, it's not that long ago, bro. It's not that long ago where he just came out. And now
No.
he's hitting that $500 range.
Here's what I'm telling you right now, where I'm calling this. I'm going to call it a reissue. But you're going to basically get a little bit of an upgrade here. You're going to get the shield. I think that they're going to come out with this. I just do, because it's going way too high. People wanted it. Now that they're like, now when we put this out, let's put out another one. I actually could see them doing this, dude. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the Book of Boba Fett releases, honestly. Because I think that they could sell this, and it wouldn't be a straight reissue. There'd be a little bit of differences, I guess. You'd get the shield. Again,
yeah.
So if people ask me, like, hey, do I pay $3? I got a great deal, Aries. I can get this for $350. No, I say no. Just wait. It's coming again. It's coming again, whether for this show or The Mandalorian season 3. I think you're going to get one way or the other.
I had thought that they were going to do it as well, but I omitted in my statement. I was like, well, maybe they would change it up a little bit more. But it was funny because it was Fabio. We were talking. I don't remember what. I don't even know if Fabio's still in here right now, but maybe he can tell me. I don't remember if we were on a stream or right. He might be kicking back on a Sunday cigar. No, I don't remember if we were live or if we were just talking behind the scenes, like on we were texting. I don't remember, but I remember he brought up a point that, because I was like, well, maybe they would just get rid of the gun or something like that, and then bring in the shield. Fabio is here. Okay, cool. But he brought up a good point that I didn't consider, that if they do this, they have to keep everything that's already in here and then add to it, right? Because if they took away, it would screw up the market, right? Because like you was saying, if they want to kill the secondary market, then everything has to stay at least equal to the original version, and then add stuff to it, right? Because then it would actually just devalue this figure. I mean, would you agree with that? Because I was like, oh, you're right. I didn't even really consider that, because why would you want to spend $500 on this and get the exact same figure with the exact same accessories, but now added stuff as well?
I feel like for me, and usually the rule is, and I agree with this rule of thumb. Mm-hmm. The OG figure is going to be worth more, even if they come out with something that's basically the same, because it's the OG one. It's going to hold its value. But I feel like with this character, it's such a new character, and it's not as beloved as the Mandalorian. I feel like the Mandalorian has now become a legacy character in the short term. Just in the short term that has been. Okay, Din Djarin. Okay, there you go. Him and Grogu. It's kind of like simultaneous. It just goes with Star Wars now, like R2, C-3PO. Not on that level. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're like R2, C-3PO, but that they are there though. But I don't feel like the heavy infantry Mandalorian's a character yet. For me, it's kind of like, yeah, I like him. I want to find out more about him. Are we actually going to see Jon Favreau behind the mask if it ever goes that way? Is he going to choose to stay with the armor? Is he going to join like Hob Vanth? Is he going to join Din Djarin? There's so many variables, but I feel like for me, if I didn't have this figure and they came out with the new one, I would just get the new one with the shield, and I wouldn't be like losing sleep. Oh, I wish I would have had the first one that doesn't have the shield, because it's not like Boba Fett yet. I'm like, I don't care. I just feel like it will go down. I feel like this price will get hurt. Is that what you're asking me? I feel like the price on this one will hurt.
If they were going to bring him out, everything you see in this thumbnail picture right here, he comes with everything you see right there. Mm-hmm. But then maybe he comes with the shield and one other accessory. Mm-hmm. That would destroy the value of this particular.
I think it would destroy it. I think it would utterly destroy it. And even if it had now if it has some difference in the armor, if it has some clear, and I got to go back and watch the Book of Boba Fett to see in that chapter 5 exactly what the difference. I thought I heard that he has some differences. Could have been some wear and tear, some battle. Sometimes that can make a difference, and I think it would if it was like Boba Fett. Like if you have, like, you're talking about the difference between Return of the Jedi Boba Fett and Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett, and even though the helmet's different, that's Boba Fett. So you must have all Boba Fett. If OG fan, but Star Wars, the Star Wars in here, Boba Fett is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Must have all Boba Fett's. I don't know if the heavy. I don't hear us saying that the heavy infantry Mandalorian is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Must have all heavy infantry Mandalorians. I don't think we're there yet with this character, dude.
No,
That's my
not
point.
even. I don't even think we're there yet with Mando.
Yeah, yeah.
To
I think
be
we're much
be quite
closer with him,
frank,
but
we're,
yeah.
we're definitely closer. He's his own show. There's no show called Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. You know what I mean? So, like, that's what I'm saying. But even with Mando, he's a name. He's a name now. Who's making a name? They're making a name of him. Like, this is a big character. But even then, it's a fresh new character. And then within this new property, we have a smaller, heavy infantry guy, right? So he's not that level yet. He's not that level yet. Maybe they'll change and they do something great with them or whatnots. He's just a really cool figure though, guys, if you don't have him, because he's beefy, he's huge. Like, it's a good,
And listen, baby, with 105 in here, did you smash that like button yet? Go ahead and hit that like button. Much appreciate your support. And in case you don't know who I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and I'm serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk, along with my good friend here, Six Scale Mafia, Anthony. And if you've never seen him before either, and you're not subscribed to Six Scale Mafia, is it possible that I have the link right in the video description at Six Scale Mafia? And I say, yes. Make sure you go do that. Support this guy. Here's a great question. Sinister SMR, I love this because I want to get into this for a minute. Why would they want to kill the secondary market? Doesn't high prices support the fact that these figures are highly desirable and make other figures more popular in the hopes they will be high too? And I say, yes, he's right on with this. And here's a real interesting thing about this: that 5% factor that you said that Kiko brought up, is it possible that that also has something to do with exactly what Sinister SMR said here? And I'm going to have to do it again. And I say, yes. When you have some of those figures in the secondary market that create that type of buzz, ooh, it's a hot toy. Hot toys, they're retaining value. Oh, is it possible? Look, Hasbro capitalizes on that. Their whole business model for how they come out with Star Wars figures in the vintage collection, even in the Black Series, is all about trying to emulate the old Kenner lure of how ultra crazy expensive those vintage Star Wars figures are in the box, in the package, on the card. Believe me, it's real tasty, and it's more pricey. It is so pricey, and they use that to come out to do what they do with the vintage collection, to do what they do with some of the collectibles you get with the Black Series, so on and so forth. So you have to wonder, is it possible that Hot Toys knows keeping some of these in there kind of establishes our lore? I think absolutely, Anthony. And I think this is a very interesting question, because I think you don't want to reissue everything, because if you have data out there that substantiates you're the king, you're the bomb, you got that kind of out
right.
there, it's kind of cool. I think they kind of need that on some level. But what are your thoughts?
No, it's an interesting point and a question from Sinister as well, because I typed in there that as things climb, Hot Toys obviously would rather have the money in their pocket, but there's truth to that though, to that statement. And again, we bring it back to that 5%, right? That 5% is not a random number, right? So they look at it like that. They say, okay, so not every figure that hits a certain threshold on the secondary market they reissue, because then Hot Toys loses. They're already, in my opinion, on the verge of losing the exclusivity of their figures, right? Because, and that's a debate for the ages, right? Reissue, no reissue. What are your preferences, right? So a 5% chance of a reissue currently shows that, hey, listen, not every figure clearly has done that. Otherwise, we'd see all this left shelf over here. This would have all been reissued. Hasn't happened. You know what I mean? So,
and I agree with your comment.
Like,
yeah, not to cut you off, but I know that you put a comment out there. Well, if it climbs, they would rather pocket that money. I agree with that too. I feel like it's I feel like that they know they're not going to reissue every figure, Anthony, but I feel like they're also not going to lose that money. All they got to do is keep a little bit out there.
Yeah, just enough to, because you're right. Like they do complement each other. Having some of those figures retaining, like I said, with the vintage Fett, the animated Fett, those are just two current examples, because we're just talking about them. Those probably aren't going to be. Maybe down the road, sure. But things like that, that's the other 95% that we're not talking about.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. In relation to that, what do you...
Greetings, fellow collectors. As you can see, I've taken the form of KG Collector. Now, is it possible that we will be getting Ahsoka pretty soon? And I say, stay for the ride and find out. Because you'll never know when she will pop up. But let me just say, it's imminent. And is it possible we'll be getting more announcements and more releases for upcoming Star Wars projects? And I'll say, yes. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Dark Jedi himself, and you'll never know which form I'll be taking next. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Ruddy Mysterious.
Ooh, it sends chills down my spine, baby.
Indeed.
Wow. The Hot Toys Wizard in the house. Are you kidding me? Taking on the form of KG Collector. And make sure you subscribe to support KG Collector, because we don't know how KG is feeling. He doesn't have a cigar like the Fabio, like the Fabio with his gangster form. Or I don't know if he has any of this. This is Fabio's favorite, Wizard Sugar. But he has the sunglasses on. So I feel like maybe KG is like completely shielded from any, effects at all. But Big Dog Pound with the LOL Marco. What's up, everyone? Putting it in there. Where's Marco's little rolling over laughing? Look, that actually brings me to the next topic I want to get into, which is Ahsoka. But first, Van City Collectibles has come in. And you know what table he's sitting at, right, Anthony?
Good, Anakin, good.
Good. Ooh, that's my favorite table. You know that.
Yeah, dude. Well, you see, you've got the kahunas to sit at that table. You're the Six Scale Mafia. Come on.
Well,
but I mean,
yes, it's not for the faint of heart. Nobody wants to really sit at table 66, but
Fabio is rolling over laughing. The Mandalorian Huntress goes, the Hot Toys Wizard strikes again. Spooky KG says, CO Dream. Silent Hill sound music. Yeah. Sinister SMR goes, that is my table. Make sure you all subscribe to KG Collector. Come on. But listen, with the Hot Toys Wizard, talking about Ahsoka, it's imminent. Notice that, the Hot Toys Wizard usually only sticks to announcements, really doesn't get into releases, although he's been on the hunt. You saw that interruption from, like I talked about before, with Pagestrick, where he's going to these warehouses, he's trying to get in, trying to see, in the Hot Toys warehouse, where's Ahsoka, where's this? Here she is, baby. And so listen, let's talk about this a little bit. Tell us a little bit. You actually called Sideshow, right, Anthony?
Correct.
And you actually heard right from a representative there. When is this coming? Tell us again.
So she had informed me that in the next, she said week and a half. So, that could be 2 weeks. That could be 3 weeks. You never know, right? I think that's their projected. But she said the next week and a half, Ahsoka and Loki will be coming out in small batches. We'll start shipping in small batches. Loosely, that's basically what she said, summarizing. So, yeah, I mean, I know on all all facts point to that, right? As we can see, people are getting emails from it. She spoke to me on the phone about it. And then there was another point, I forgot what the third one was, that about her. But it's due. She's due. Like they're showing the new arrivals here on their website. She shows up as new arrival. So all three of these factors point to, yeah, she's coming like very, very soon. And even here it says expected to ship March, and we all know that the expected to ship dates are.
It's changed 3-4 times. I'm hoping it doesn't change again.
Yeah.
So this makes sense that it's imminent.
Yeah. Yeah. She's definitely coming.
Let me ask you this. There's been, and I believe that this is the correct inside information or rumor, whatever you want to call it, that she's already been at the docks, in California. It's been perhaps waiting to get unloaded. Even greater, perhaps, maybe there's a scenario here where Hot Toys is demanding, or Sideshow is demanding that this get released the same exact time as it does in Hong Kong. Because obviously, if this has been sitting at the ports, it's already done and ready to be released in Hong Kong, right, Anthony? I mean,
yeah,
that would be the case.
No, and remember, we saw this in October. When was that? I made a video about it on my channel, as a matter of fact, because it tripped me out. I was like, wait a minute. Simultaneous release? This is strange. We don't see this. I think that was with Lando, the Shore Trooper. I think it was Spider-Gwen and the Miles Morales Spider-Man. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it was something like that. I lose track. There's so many figures. But I remember seeing that in October, and I was like, wow. These are coming out right now simultaneously with Hong Kong. Now, is this going to be a norm? Well, it hasn't been. Right now we're here on March. It hasn't really been, but it's a start. And I think you're right. This is Hot Toys. They're working. This is a new strategy, right? And like anything in life, you have to adapt or die, right? So I feel like that's the thing. And that's one thing about us as human beings, right? We might not be good at controlling situations and doing some of the best things for us, but we're damn good at adapting, right? That's what we do. And it's no different in a business environment where there's a huge, without being overly dramatic, I feel like there's kind of a war going on with third party, reselling, Hong Kong resellers and the damage that it's causing to Sideshow's business. So they had to adapt. So whatever they're doing, maybe this is air freighted, certain small batches, like they said. They're going to do small batches. They won't do it for every single release, obviously. But for something as popular as Ahsoka, yeah, I feel like this is what's happening. We're going to get these small batches, and people are going to buy their figures. They're going to post in forums and social media, hey, check it out. I got my Ahsoka. We're already seeing it right now. We're already seeing the social media buzz. People are showing their emails. Hey, look, she's shipping. She's coming. So I think that'll get other people to go, oh, wait, Sideshow's shipping right now. Well, let me buy it from her. And then, I feel like, maybe it'll take a while, but.
Yeah, you bring up some real interesting points I want to dive into. And I feel like that this potential that this figure again could break the internet just again with the final production photos, which can be possibly tonight, the way that this is going, what the reps are saying. It's got to be very, very close to what they want to do. But I feel, here's a couple of questions for you. This is going to be coming on the heels very, very close to the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka, which, quite frankly, I'm actually looking just as forward to as this one, because the likeness to Rosario Dawson is uncanny, bro. I cannot wait to get that freaking DX of that Ahsoka in live action. It's sick. And a lot of people were telling me, oh, Aries, well, that one will be delayed now because they're doing this. And I just want to bring up to the attention that I say no. I think it's going to come out. I think that one's going to come out right on time. And you have to wonder, is it possible they could actually put that one out earlier, right on the heels of this? They actually could. I actually feel like that's the weirdness that they've been dealing in lately, Anthony.
It very well could be. Again, I'm going to agree with you on that one, though, Aris. I don't think Rosario Dawson, the Ahsoka, right? I don't think she's going to get delayed. This is an anomaly that I think had largely have to do with Sideshow. They had picked a specific number of figures to be released. Because let's not forget, I know we're talking about Star Wars, but Loki was supposed to come out in November too. So I feel like this is very much a sideshow situation where they've picked specific figures that they want to get as a simultaneous release, and that's it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. They just picked that these are the ones that they want. Rosario Dawson's not the case, right? She's not going to be delayed because this Ahsoka's been done. We know it's been done. If it wasn't for sideshow, this would have already been out. 100%. This would have already been out. So, I mean, and I'm with you. I'm looking forward to it. But this Ahsoka is an anomaly, right? Because $250, right? And she has the purse system. We looked at the booklet. I know the booklet doesn't look. It's not very flattering, but we won't know until we get final product photos, right? But even then, $250. She's got rolling eye system. She looks pretty damn good for a Clone Wars representation of a figure. People are stoked. But I'm with you. I'm more excited for this one, to tell you the honest truth.
Yeah. And with 110 in here, please go ahead and smash that like button. You are watching Morning Coffee with Aries, along with my good friend here, Anthony from Six Scale Mafia, special guest, and basically AKA here, the Market Value Chart Show live. And good to have Metamorphic Customs in here. We've got Desi in here as well. So good to have Desi in the house. I just did my unboxing last week of Desi's diorama he did for me on the Darth Maul. Amazing. And so for you, some of you, insiders, we'll talk about the insider stuff. I did an insiders unboxing for the membership on the channel, but good to have Desi in here. But yeah, speaking about this Rosario Dawson one, dude, someone asked a question, is this DX Ahsoka worth the extra money over just the standard? And here's my opinion on this, Anthony. I think I always go for the DX unless it's a vehicle I just don't have room for. Then I don't. But otherwise, I mean, this comes with a Grogu that's articulated, that sets up the scene. I don't know, dude. The DX for a DX version? Yeah, it's not that much more money. $315 for a DX to get a Grogu and Ahsoka. This was epic in episode 5.
Do you remember what the original was cost?
I'll have to go back to it. Let's actually go back to it and see what the price is. That's $315. And I'm going to go back to it now here. Let's actually go. But yeah, I mean, I think let me pull this back up. There we go.
Just because of the question at hand, right? It's specifically about
let's go to
two
it.
differences.
Go to the next one here.
'Cause I don't remember.
$285.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for what? For $30? Yeah, absolutely.
$30?
Yeah.
At that point, yeah. I mean, $30 is. Look, I'm not trying to say we don't value money, right? Because we all value our money. But for $30 though, when you look at it now, that's nothing. That's really nothing in comparison. So, and I agree with you. If there's ever a deluxe, I would typically get the deluxe. Because why not? That price isn't that different. $30, you get the complete package. So, it's
I want to talk about the elephant in the room, which no one likes to talk about. And I'm getting both versions for various reasons. What people are going to skip out on the Clone Wars version to wait for this because they're, whether it's due to frustration or waiting too long or because this is coming up on the heels of this one and they want the live action one, they want the actress. How many people will skip out on this one because this one is coming, the Clone Wars one is coming closer, which how much of it doesn't really matter because they're going to get both. But I've said it before that I felt because when they announced this, everyone was shocked, or not let's say everyone. A lot of people were surprised when they announced this version, when they announced the Clone Wars version, where I was calling that they would do it. And I feel like they're definitely going to not delay this because there's definitely going to come out another Ahsoka to go with the Ahsoka series. They just are. They're going to absolutely, the star of that show, Rosario Dawson, you're going to get another one. They want to get this one out way before that. I think that they're less concerned with this being on the heels of the Clone Wars one. But I feel like, I don't know how to call this, but I almost feel like they may not make that many of that Clone Wars Ahsoka? Is it possible that Sideshow knows that? And that's one of the reasons that because they seem to be more anal on this than even the 2-pack Boba Fett, than even Captain Rex. They seem to be way more, and I love Ahsoka, the Clone Wars Ahsoka, but I feel like the Captain Rex is the cream of the crop. I don't know, dude. I'm kind of interesting. I wanted to talk about this with somebody. It's not that Ahsoka's not more popular than Captain Rex. I just feel like figure-wise, that was the cream of the Clone Wars crop. I don't know. I feel like, did they overproduce Clone Wars Ahsoka? Or are they going to purposely underproduce it?
Well, I
It's
know
interesting
that.
to me.
No, it's definitely interesting, and I'm going to agree with basically what you just said here. This whole thing about the show, right? With Ahsoka's show coming, this is our first live action representation of Ahsoka. This is definitely will not be the last. Right now, it may be 3 years from now, really, right? Because we don't even know when the Ahsoka show's coming out, right? We still have Obi-Wan coming, and whenever it does come, it's going to be a year and a half once Hot Toys announces a figure until it comes out, right? If we're lucky, at minimum. So there will be multiple Rosario Dawsons. Well, at least 2, right? I don't know about multiples, but you know what I mean. There's going to be more than this. This is Mandalorian representation. The Clone Wars one, I think they probably have produced quite a bit because she's very, very popular. She's, I would say, arguably more popular than the Mandalorian version because there's an entire generation that grew up watching the Clone Wars, right? And Rebels. So she's very, very popular in that respect. But I think you're right. I think that Clone Wars Ahsoka is going to come out. She's going to be sitting for a while because they produced so much of it. But down the line, I think that's a wrap. I don't think we're going to see another animated style version of her from Hot Toys like that, at all. We're going to start seeing more Rosario Dawson as her show comes.
Right. And do you feel with what you're saying there that Hot Toys knows that Sideshow knows there's a certain amount and they want to make the sales over more that are, I don't know. I just feel like it's interesting to me. This whole thing is weird with her. I know she's popular, but I feel like they're going way overboard on this one.
They may, but I don't know. I think that could just be us talking because we're the old guard in that respect because there's a lot of we have more hype for original trilogy, right? And but when you think about it, I am shocked because I'm just still stuck in my ways, right? And I don't really watch the cartoons or the animated shows. I just don't watch those. I've been trying to, but I didn't grow up with them. So I'm shocked that there's the number of people that are super, super into this. Again, I'm just stuck in my old ways. So I didn't see the connection. So I kind of feel that way too. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's kind of weird. Are they going too hard into this? But after talking with people in the community, I don't think so. I think the hype for Ahsoka is very, very, very high. Especially you can pair her with, all these clone troopers that they're putting out, right? I mean, shoot, the 501st, they have her helmet, right? So I think the hype is definitely there for her for the animated version. And maybe not so much for this, except for some of us who are just more into the show rather than the Clone Wars show. So I don't know. They're not gonna.
I feel like Ahsoka fans. I'm an Ahsoka fan. I feel I have to have both. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I have to have both too because I have a lot of the prequel stuff. She'll fit,
Yeah.
So, and all the Clone Wars stuff they're putting out is great. So having that's the thing with Hot Toys, man. That's so cool is that you have this Rex. This Rex is a Tamora Morrison head sculpt. You know what I mean? That's really cool. The Anakin that's coming out, Clone Wars Anakin. It's a Hayden Christensen version. So that's why I think it's interesting that they're doing that. They're not animated, right? They did the twist where they're having them lifelike representations of actors, inspired from the animated shows. So I feel like since I have those, I need to get the Clone Wars Ahsoka to fit with all that. And then this one has to go with all the Mandos. And you know, she is a DX, so we have to also consider that as well.
DX is hot, dude. Well, and here's
Yeah.
something in the chat, and welcome everybody who is watching. There's like 115 or whatever in here watching the Sunday Coffee with Aries. Come on, my special guest with me here today, Anthony from Six Scale Mafia. If you've never heard of either of us, go subscribe to both of us. Come on, baby. I got the link to Anthony within the video description
Appreciate
below.
that.
But listen, I see some chat in the chats. Okay, the accessories not worth it. They are worth it. I respect all the opinions. For me, dude, I like this base way better than the generic crappy base. I mean, the fact that we're getting that base, which is so cool, which kind of emulates the show. We're getting the backdrop. We're getting the light, which means a lot. And Grogu. Look, you got to have the Grogu that I think that comes with this, with the to match up that. For me, for $30, those 4 pieces alone, I like it. And it's a DX, and have a DX set that comes with the base, dude. I mean, look, that's why I got my base off Desi, Metamorphic Customs, because everything's always so plain. And that Darth Maul one, he has the magic to make that look like, okay, that's incredible. That's a whole floor.
Yeah.
Now we're having a whole battle. I don't know. I like this. To me, it's worth it.
I think it is too. I don't look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably never gonna use that backdrop.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it either. I just like having it, but I'm not going to use it.
So I have to but I have to factor that in my purchase decision. But at the end of the day, I'm like, no, I'm just going to get the deluxe regardless. And I don't feel like it's that.
I'm going to use the base though.
Yeah, the base is cool, but the base is also preference. I would. Hot Toys needs to start doing this, in my opinion. I think that if they're going to do this like this, they need to throw in both bases for the deluxe editions.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, like my Churret, I have Churret Deluxe, and he has a very similar, you've seen the base. It's, rocks and some foliage and stuff. And it's neat. I like it. But then in my head, when I have them all displayed, I kind of like the regular squares sometimes too. So I can be like, you know what? I'm going to just line these all up really nice and have like a setup. So I wish they would give us give us both if we're going to go into the deluxe, right? Because they're just the bases. The regular bases, they should be able to throw them in. But I like this. I will use this. But you know what I mean? At some point, you might want to like switch it up, and then you're like,
Yeah, I'm actually going to go.
Give you both.
I think Papa said in there, the regular one doesn't have the generic base. I'm going to pull it up right now. Let's pull it up. Let's see what base this comes with, because I honestly didn't even look at this that much, because I'm definitely getting the deluxe. So I spent all my time looking on the pictures there. Let's blow it up. It has like a blue vibe going on. That's interesting. What is that blue vibe underneath it? I wonder.
That is water.
Let's see if they can show a little bit more.
Yeah.
It still looks standard to me, but that is cool. This blue.
Yeah, I mean, it's still standard, the rectangle shape. I mean, that's the right dimensions.
I guess that's cool. That's way better than sand.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. It's better than the sand.
I kind of like that. You know what that is? Like is that where she was fighting the magistrate and
yeah, that could be.
And then there's the water, because there was water there, and they're in the
Zen
garden.
No Grogu here.
That's kind of like
Grogu.
The whatchamacallit. See, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing. They used to Hot Toys put out, Anthony, like I think with the Emperor, like with the Emperor Deluxe, we were talking about that earlier, right? Mm-hmm. When you get that figure with the chair, you actually get the regular base too.
Yeah.
But
I've got the base.
But a lot of Hot Toys figures, though, when you get the deluxe, like the Anakin, I got the Dark Side Anakin. You don't get the regular base with that if you don't want to put him on top of the robot from Mustafar.
Mm.
And they, more times than not, Hot Toys, when you get the deluxe, or you get certain, you don't necessarily get a regular base with it. So like when you got the Dark Side Anakin, you didn't get the regular base that you would get with the regular Anakin. You only got the. I would also, because not all the time do you want to put that on top of that robot, and there's nowhere where it says, Dark Side Anakin or Darth Vader on there. They don't even have it labeled. I like it when they give you both. I feel like if you're going to get the DX, prefer. You should get this too. You should get this version. When you get the DX, should just be an upgrade. It's kind of like if you're getting a car, if you're getting a freaking brand new, Ford Escort, and you're getting the premium limited version, you want air conditioning to come with that too, not come with air conditioning. I mean, it doesn't make
Right.
any freaking sense.
No. Because I actually like this base now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, me too. Now I'm glad he
Like, it's pretty
brought that
sweet.
up.
And you know, and the way I have mine, I'm not just in, you know, in DTOFs. I've got the wider, you know, wider space. So sometimes, like, some of my figures, you form the line, and you can't really do that with these deluxe spaces. So it would have been really nice if they gave us both, because I would switch it up. I don't want to buy 2 Ahsokas just to have a different, you know, and I'm sure I could find this base online somewhere, right? But it's like, yeah, throw it in the deluxe version if you could, please.
Yeah, well, Desi puts in here, it's worth noting Hot Toys did throw in both bases with the new deluxe Batman. Good on them. Yeah, I hope they do that like all the time. But do you feel, you know, here's another thing, you know, we're talking about this and, you know, we're looking at this Ahsoka. I'd love to just get an improvement on bases. Like I feel like this is very innovative here.
It is.
I wish they would do this with every figure. I mean, I feel like we're getting to the point now with these prices and everything that we should maybe get something like this with every figure we're getting. Like I'm so done with the sand bases, dude, and the freaking you gotta fit
I need
the
flat.
feet
Yeah, I
right
need a
on
flat
those.
surface, bro.
I'm so done with them, man.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like they got to improve on it. I'd like to see something more like this.
I mean, like her deluxe base is probably okay. That's different than what I mean, like with what you're saying, like with standards, the rectangle shaped bases don't have footprints on those. You know, give us a flat surface like this. This is what I like. I agree. I don't like the sand bases because they have the footprints in them, and it's like, yo, I feel like now this feels more like a toy, and I have to like jam the feet right in line of the footprints, and it's just, I don't like that. I don't like that at all, personally.
Yeah, yeah, I'm right with you, brother. I'm absolutely right with you.
She looks phenomenal, though. Now that
Dude,
we're
I
just
can't wait
staring
for
at her,
this.
I'm like, yep, this is great.
I cannot
This is
wait
great.
to get this. So I agree with you. I think we're going to get obviously another one of her when the show comes out. So let me ask you this: quarter scale. Are any of these shows? We got the upcoming Obi-Wan series we've been talking about all week. Whether it's Obi-Wan, whether it's Darth Vader, whether it's Ahsoka, do you see any quarter scales with these characters? I mean, dude, I have to get the quarter scale Boba Fett with the Tamora Morrison head sculpt. I have
Yeah,
to.
I'm getting
It's
him.
too damn good. And I will
Yeah.
tell you right now, if they gave me a quarter scale, this girl here, Ahsoka, I have to buy it. I would not be able to resist it. So do you think they're going to do that or not really? I'm iffy on it.
Yeah, it's too hard. It's too far. It's too far out to know. Here's the trend I've noticed. Mando had his show. We got a quarter scale Mando. Boba had his show. We're getting the quarter scale Boba. I'm still calling it. I think we're gonna get a quarter scale Obi-Wan. I think we're gonna get him. And if we get a quarter scale Obi-Wan, now we're following a pattern here. Now we're seeing the trend. So when Ahsoka show comes out, dude.
My man Mario's in the house.
Mario.
El Profesoro. Good to have you in here as well. What's going on there, Mario? How are you doing? And good to have everybody in here. Welcome everybody to Sunday Coffee with Aries. Are you kidding me? This is the Market Value Chart Show live. And I have a special guest here, Six Scale Mafia, Anthony. I usually do these morning coffee shows, these market value chart shows all alone. But this has been great today, Anthony. Great to have you in here, my man.
That's great for being here. Thank you again.
I like when you're saying you put the trends together. I tend to agree with you. I actually think I'm going to go one step further. I think that this having Ewan McGregor return is epic. It's probably more epic than even what we're realizing right now. And that trailer, dude, that was cinematically excellent. They played the big,
phenomenal.
They came out with the big John Williams music. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, dude, it looks.
That's right, man. It's so good.
Yeah. How many people are going to be like, if this show blows it away? And I think Hot Toys knows this. Obi-Wan quarter scale, hard pass. Are you freaking kidding me?
Right. I don't
It's
think so.
not a hard pass. And even if they come out, I feel like, though, here's a step further. If you're going to do one of Obi-Wan Kenobi quarter scale, there's not a chance in hell you don't get another quarter scale Darth Vader. I feel like they got to do it. I feel like they got to do it, dude. It's weird. But I feel like in this one instance, Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, it almost seems like, I'm not saying a 2-pack, but if you will, you got to have them both, dude. You
Yeah,
got to have them both.
I feel like we're definitely going to get both in 6 scale.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I would love to see both of them in
If
quarter.
they don't give us Darth Vader from this movie, everyone's going to be so freaking pissed.
Oh, they're going to be pissed.
Come
yeah,
on.
for sure.
Because
that's going to change. Now, look, we still going to have our stuff, right? Like New Hope or Empire, Darth Vader, we have an attachment to. I don't feel like any of us are going to get up and sell that to get a new Vader from Obi-Wan. But I feel like, well, I'm going to say when. I'm going to say when, because I don't think it's an if. When the Obi-Wan series Darth Vader hot toy comes out, it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to have a Hayden Christensen sculpt or something to that effect. Like, it's not going to, you know what I mean? They're going to knock it out of the park with this because, again, like you said, I mean, that trailer alone, Disney's not going to screw this up.
Well, and remember, bro, and not to toot my own horn, but I'm going to bring it up. I actually broke some inside information.
Toot away.
Yes. Break that, from the mouth of Hayden Christensen himself. Okay. From one of my sources. Okay. From the Hot Toys wizard, let's actually say here that he actually said that there's not only one, not only two, but 3 figures that they're currently working on right now with his likeness. Look, it's Darth Vader. Who knows what they're going to be doing there with that? But one of them could be, and I really didn't talk about this, it could be a quarter scale. Because he didn't say it's quarter scale, 6 scale. It's just him talking. Right. So it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, quarter scale Darth Vader's money, baby.
Oh, yeah.
You put out an Obi-Wan with this? Dude, come on. And look, here's the thing here. I'm gonna bring this up. If they start this trend, I could not resist getting my girl Ahsoka. I just couldn't. If they gave this in quarter scale, I have to have it. I have to.
Yeah. I concur.
Because here's the thing. I hate to bring it up like this, dude. Oh, hard pass. Ahsoka Tano, quarter scale, hard pass. I just don't hear a whole lot of it, dude. She breaks the internet every freaking time. And Boba Fett just broke the internet. He didn't break it, but it was a lot of hype on the quarter scale one. They nail it out of the park with her. I feel like it probably goes even better.
Well, here's what I'll tell you about Hot Toys. From my experience, just in general, Hot Toys does not put out a figure that they don't make money on. Period.
Yeah.
Every figure they've ever made. We don't even have to go that far back, but seriously, every figure they've ever made, they make money off of. This isn't Hollywood. This isn't them dumping $200 million budget into a movie and having that movie flop, right?
Exactly.
They don't make figures that won't sell, right? So, and remember, we're paying a markup. Okay. Sideshow's paying a markup. Hong Kong's paying a markup. There's that's the MSRP. You know what I mean? So if you keep that in mind, Hot Toys is charging the world a price off what they make. So any one figure that sells, they make their money. You know what I mean? They make their money. So it doesn't matter. Any figure they put out, they profit from. Otherwise, they wouldn't even put one out. There's no risk there. Is my point. There's never a risk.
And can you imagine with this? I mean, I hate to say it like this too. I mean, and here's a couple of points I want to bring up. You get Grand Admiral Thrawn in this. You're going to get your 6 scale version.
I'm going to lose my mind, bro.
Hard to pass out of quarter scale. Oh, hard pass. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Who the heck wants him? Here's the thing. I feel like, is it possible that they're actually competing with the statue market with these quarter scales? And I say, yes. They're not dumb. That quarter scale Boba Fett, dude, it looks really freaking good, dude. And it's a figure. It looks good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, having the Boba 2-pack is not taking it away by any stretch, because the 2-pack Boba Fett, that head sculpt is amazing. But then I saw the quarter scale and I'm like, damn. Like, because it's bigger, you could, the much more detail, and like yeah. I have a problem with that too, because as I have it's dark, but my quarter scale Vader's up there already. So I will be picking up, I missed the Boba Fett the original. I really wanted that quarter scale Boba Fett. I'm not trying to fetch, pay what they're I'm not trying to pay for that right now. The original, that looks, but that's my point. Like, I would get every quarter scale Star Wars figure moving forward, because they're phenomenal pieces. And again, like we said, we're following that trend. They're going to come out and they make their money. They don't just sit. And even if they do sit, keep in mind there's purchase orders. So Sideshow will buy X amount. Hot Toys already made the money. If it sits on Sideshow's shelf for 5 years, that's on them.
Yeah.
Hot Toys already got paid. So you see what I'm saying?
Well, listen, dude, I'm all out of coffee. This has been fun. I got a show tomorrow. Let me promote this. This is the last. Well, actually, we're kind of out. We're out of coffee. I got to go ahead and refill this guy at table 5 at 88. And you have to wonder, is it possible that the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, who serves up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk, that I will be live and raw tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern? You saw the first one I did a couple weeks ago with Darth Nihilus with 5s. And then you saw last week with Clone Commander Wolf. Is it possible that I'll have more figures that will blow your mind tomorrow, now that we discussed all this market stuff today? And I say, tune in, baby. You don't want to miss tomorrow. I'll be spilling my coffee all over the place. And you have to wonder, are we going to wake up tomorrow morning with something? I don't know. It's got to happen any minute. But anyway, let's go ahead and show this right here. Again, if you liked what you heard here today, you may want to consider joining the channel. And to get a preview of it, just go to sixscalecantina.com. And you'll see this little teal bar off to the side and see Cantina Insider. You may want to consider being a Cantina Insider. Insiders Live, which I will be going live in just 25 minutes after I get this show. I will be giving you some expanded thoughts and heightened analysis on what we talked about here today, right here on the channel for insiders. So some of you that are insiders, you want more of the Dark Jedi, give you some heightened thoughts and some expanded analysis. In about 25 minutes after the show, come meet me on there. I'll be going live for a short time, about a half an hour. But you don't want to miss that if you're an insider. But, we get all kinds of pre-recorded shows, all kinds of good stuff. You see me hanging out here with Felicity Jones. Come on. Just hit that little join button and see everything that it comes with. If it's something that you think could benefit you, you may want to consider joining. And don't forget to bookmark sixscalecantina.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And look, I will be live and raw tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss that. I'll also have the Aries Tarrington show this coming Wednesday. My special guest, Easy Company Collectibles. Also along with Fabio from Fab's Figures, Fabio Land, who's in the chat. You don't want to miss that 6 p.m. on Wednesday. That's what's going on my channel. Again, I'll be live 25 minutes right after this. We end here for Insiders. Anthony, so good having you on. So I got to ask what's going on your channel, baby.
Well, first, again, always thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Heck yeah, always good having you here, man.
Well, anytime. I love it. We do these one-on-one. Well, we have the bigger streams too, but the one-on-ones are so. It's always a pleasure. So thank you again for having me. What is going on? Well, I mean, news, updates, live streams. What do we got going on here? The spotlight hours. I got a couple more that are being recorded. Again, that's another thing too. If you guys hadn't seen, our one-on-one interview with Aries and how he started collecting and what made him, inspire him to start creating a channel in the market. Check that out if you guys haven't seen that. That was so much fun too, Aries. That was a great.
I can't wait
interview.
to do that again with you, bro. I enjoyed that. That was fantastic. You
That
got a
was
lot
super
out of me,
fun.
baby.
Yeah, we did. We had to squeeze in. Let's get some information from So no, go come check that out, guys. We did that with Fabio, Dante, several people already. We got more coming, and yeah, and just updates, news, and streams. I didn't stream last night, as you know, but next Saturday, back to business as usual. So you guys, if you haven't already came, check it out. Appreciate it. Definitely stick around, and yeah, and thank you for checking out the channel. And again, always a pleasure with being here with you, Aries.
Always a pleasure having you here. We got to do this again. I really enjoyed
Absolutely.
this Sunday morning coffee. It was a great. You guys got a lot of the market updates there. I do got some extra stuff I want to talk about, the secondary market and some things. So I will come live again, like I said, about 20-25 minutes after I end this show. And again, don't forget to check me out tomorrow, live and raw. The Dark Jedi will be live and raw tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. You don't miss that. But I will end it like I always do. I don't always buy coffee out. But when I do, I buy from Six Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Oh, yeah.